Shallow left. Carey makes the call, backing up. And he makes the catch on his 118th pitch. Ty Horn has 8 shutout here in the championship.
Nebraska Cornhuskers baseball is brought to you locally by
AM 590 is your number one station for everything Huskers. Tune in for all the live Husker action, football, volleyball, basketball, and baseball. Plus, keep up with the latest Husker news with Husker Sports Nightly from 6 to 8. Listen on the AM 590 app, Star 104.5 HD2, and AM 590 ESPN Omaha.
Portions of Husker baseball are brought to you by Midwest Ford, Shelter Insurance, and Dakota Mac.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dice has the sign. He collects the 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Casey Dice finishes it for Nebraska. The dog pile is on. The Nebraska Cornhuskers have run the table and run it back. Back-to-back Big Ten tournament champions.
Now let's head to the booth. Standing by to call today's action, here's Ben McLaughlin and Nick Hanley.
After a 3.5-hour weather delay last night, the Huskers and Sooners finally able to play in Chapel Hill Game 1 of the regional. Oklahoma really took it to the Huskers, particularly on the mound with Malachi Witherspoon with a fastball that bumped close to 100 miles an hour. The Huskers made it a fight late, cutting into a 7-0 lead before falling 7-4. That bumped Nebraska down to the losers bracket in this Chapel Hill regional. Holy Cross had a tough challenge ahead of them as well in Jake Knapp, who is going to be a finalist for Pitcher of the Year in college baseball, improved his record to 13-0. It was a 4-0 victory for the Tar Heels. So that sets up an elimination game today between Nebraska and Holy Cross. Good morning to you from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. At Boshamer Stadium, Ben McLaughlin joined again by my broadcast partner, Nick Hanley, Josh Hilkeman, producing for us in our Acres Broadcast Center, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer, Acres Solutions for every field. Well, partner, it was kind of a frustrating one yesterday. Nebraska had a chance in the first inning with the bases loaded, could not cash in, and a couple of hard-hit balls for the Huskers in the middle part of that game resulted in no runs. Oklahoma distanced themselves late with their biggest lead at 7-0. Huskers make it interesting late, scoring 4 runs thanks to a 3-run triple by Max Butenbach, but ultimately a loss all in itself. And now the ever-feared tight turnaround. The boys did not get much sleep last night. My guess is 5 hours is probably ambitious of what the boys were able to get last night before have to come right back here in the ballpark and not only play again, but play for your season.
Yeah, that's the challenge in front of them is how do they respond with that quick turnaround? Is there some fatigue from last night? And, for Nebraska, they put in some work late in that game offensively where they were able to get that bases clearing triple from Max Butenbach and really have a go of this thing. And it was just a very challenging evening in the batter's box for Nebraska collectively. And you bring up that first inning where Nebraska has that opportunity, as you typically will against power arms, when they're starting to try to settle in and find the strike zone, try to get a feel for the game. In the process, we saw Witherspoon was a little bit away from the zone and was giving Nebraska some opportunities. You don't cash in. And then it was innings 2, 3, and 4 that we saw his stuff overpower, where he was able to get multiple strikeouts in all 3 of those frames. And then that is where he settled in very nicely, was very confident, and Nebraska was doing a lot of guessing. 14 strikeouts on the evening for Nebraska. And so that's where you got to make sure that that's a one-off. Nebraska has to be right from the get-go, and those opportunities present themselves early that they have to be able to cash in. And that's the one thing that Nebraska, we talked about it a lot yesterday. We talked about it a lot in the last month, too, have really turned the corner offensively when it comes to getting guys not only on base, but guys in scoring position. Unfortunately, that eluded Nebraska last night up until late in that game, but unfortunately it was too little too late for the Huskers. Had a go of it, made it a little bit interesting there, but got to pick themselves up. I'm really curious to see what type of adrenaline energy that this team has early in the game. I think these first 3 innings are going to be paramount for Nebraska to really try to set the tone and feel good about it. Look, their young bodies are going to be able to recover a lot quicker than people like myself and you, but this is also still a pretty tough task of having that, getting back to the hotel around 12:30, you're finishing your meal, and then you're getting right back up early, having breakfast, getting back on a bus, and trying to save your season.
Well, let's talk about the challenge in front of Nebraska today. It's Holy Cross. Typically, when you see opponents like this, most of them have one stud pitcher, one bona fide ace. Holy Cross has two, and that's going to make the challenge for Nebraska that much steeper. They throw their ace yesterday, and standing in front of Nebraska is Jaden Waiwoda, who is the conference pitcher of the year. It's not often you have a 4 seed with kind of a two-headed monster in your rotation. Waiwoda is a beast. He's 6'3", 220 pounds. He has a 9-2 record and an ERA of just 3.65. That being said, this is a completely different challenge for Nebraska's hitters today. They were seeing fastballs consistently bumping 98 last night from Witherspoon. This is a guy that his fastball will barely break glass, but what he does is he's got nasty movement from the right side and a really, really good curveball.
Well, and it was interesting when we were talking about how you wanted to attack a guy like Malachi Witherspoon with the velocity, with the fastball, where that is going to run into the plate on you a little bit to where middle opposite is going to be your friend. But with off speed like this, it's a similar situation to where you want to see that ball travel deep into the zone, but you have the luxury of being able to have that ability to see it a lot longer than you are a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. But I still think that's where the middle opposite field is going to be Nebraska's friend offensively when you're getting good contact. And when you make a mistake on the inner half, and again, there's going to be those moments that Nebraska has to key in on, that you're going to have that ability to pull the ball and do so with some good exit velocity. But I think when you do have that off speed, for teams that are seeing a guy early with the off speed and the ability to move it, is when you're starting to see those guys attack the other way, go on the opposite field gaps, and being able to barrel up pitches that way. So much like we said last night, middle opposite would be an avenue where Nebraska would probably attack with that velocity. I think that is still a similar situation where you can watch the break, you can watch the angle of those pitches fall deep in the zone and feel like it's still not going to be overpowering. You're not going to be overly late, but you can still attack the other way. That's what I think Nebraska has to do, and we hope to see that early in this one.
The Huskers will counter with Ty Horn, fresh off his brilliant performance in the Big Ten championship game against UCLA. 8 shutout innings on 118 pitches. I don't think the Huskers are expecting that out of Horn today, but hoping to see a competitive effort from number 20 with the Huskers season on the line again here today, much like it was last Sunday afternoon just 6 days ago. We're off and rolling. Glad you dialed us up here this morning on the Huskers Radio Network. We'll have you for baseball for the next few hours. It's a beautiful day here in Chapel Hill. The sun is out, and hopefully the weather stays away here today for the Huskers and the Crusaders. We'll step aside for our first break. When we come back, conversation with Nebraska head coach Will Bolt. That's coming up next on the Huskers Radio Network.
To be a part of Nebraska Medicine
Hi, welcome.
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell her 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto
Auto Parts.
Welcome back to Chapel Hill. Today the Huskers take on Holy Cross. Welcome in head coach Will Bolt. I think you said it perfectly last night. Easy to make excuses on a day like today. Not much sleep for the boys, but energy level seems good. I've seen the boys bounce around here this morning.
Yeah, just we didn't get a lot of sleep, but it's kind of part of it. You know, we had a late night and an early turnaround, but our season's on the brink right here, and just ready to bring our own energy and enthusiasm today and our best focus. And guys are bouncing around. We got the music popping early on the bus, and just trying to create that atmosphere in our brains.
This team in particular, is no stranger having their back against the wall, and it seems like sometimes they play their best baseball when that's the case. How does having that mindset over the last month help them in a day like today?
Yeah, we've been very resilient over the course of the year. We've been in a situation plenty of times, especially in the last 7 weeks, where we've lost the first game and ended up winning the weekend. So today, obviously, the key is just find a way, whatever it takes, find an excuse to win.
How do you digest last night offensively? Obviously, seeing 97, 98, it's not something we see a ton, but they have seen it before. How did you kind of break down what you saw in the batter's box last night?
Yeah, I think if you really kind of just reflect on the game, obviously we set up an inning in the first and had a base running mistake that we ran into an out. But it got the bases loaded, kind of beat on the pitch count a little bit early. And we had really 3 swings that were kind of those 50-50 swings, I should say. I mean, Stokes crushed the ball with the runner at first to end an inning. Brumball flew out to the base of the wall to end an inning, and then Butenbag had a really good 2-strike battle and took a perfect swing and lined out to center field. And, when you face an arm like that, there may be only a few of those over the course of the game. And, obviously the timely hitting was not there. That was the difference, the slug and the timely hitting. I mean, they got the slug and some timely hits, and we punched out too much.
How do you keep the confidence in the box today? It's obviously a new day, completely different arm that we're going to see today. How do you keep the guys where they're at and stay on attack in the box?
Well, what happened yesterday has no bearing on today, and the routines and the breath and just controlling your all those things before you get in the batter's box and in between pitches just allow you to be present. So it's going to be a totally different look today. I mean, we're going from facing an average fastball of 96 to an average fastball of 87 with a much slower breaking ball. So going to be a lot different look. Guys are going to have to do a really, really good job of staying in the big part of the yard today.
More conversation with Coach Bolt coming up next on the Huskers Radio Network.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Meese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
This is the sound of grilling season. It's time to get back to cookouts, to gathering with friends and family, and making memories. And with Hy-Vee's lower prices on thousands of items all over the store, you can still get the best quality meat and everything else you need for your barbecues at prices that will make you smile. Get back to grilling for less, with a little help from Hy-Vee.
Today, the Huskers and Crusaders go at it here in Chapel Hill. Obviously, on the mound yesterday, Brockett got the ball for you, ran into some trouble early. How did you see the pitching staff kind of piggyback off that and try to keep you in the fight?
Yeah, we didn't play perfect defense behind Brockett. We leadoff hitter gets on, and then a home run right behind that. There was a kind of a weird delay and involved with that, and so he a little uneven on the mound. I thought we had a chance to really kind of get some holds there late, and it just didn't happen. They kind of ran away from us, ended up being a little bit too much.
That being said, Ty Horn's going to get the start today. 6 days rest for him, 118 pitches. I mean, I don't think anybody's expecting him to go 8 shutout again today, but how does he have to be effective today, and how can he build off what he did last Sunday?
Yeah, really, it's mindset, and it's just understanding that, today is no different than last Sunday, where our season's on the line. We need him to be at his competitive best. 4 pitches, commanding the strike zone well, controlling his emotions, pitching for his team. Really not thinking about anything else other than that.
Pretty unique again today. This team loves to run just like Oklahoma, and they like to make some things happen on the bases. Not known for their power necessarily, but they put the ball in play and they steal bags. How do you control that on the mound and defensively?
Well, Ty's got a really good pickoff move, so we got to be on our toes over there to get some quick tags at first base. Maybe mix in some pitch outs. We just need to be ready, because they're going to look to run. They're going to look to take every extra base that they can.
All right, what's our lineup looking like today?
We'll run the same lineup as yesterday. Silva in center, Nunez DHing, Brumbaugh at second, Swanson in left, Sanderson at first, Carey at short, Butenbeck in right field, Stokes at third, and Haligzo catching.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Bolt here with us pregame. We got more coming up from Chapel Hill. This is Big Red Baseball.
AM 590 ESPN Radio Omaha is your #1 station for everything sports. Tune in for coverage of the NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, Pro Volleyball, and more. Plus, keep up with all your favorite college sports each weekday. 24-hour sports coverage for sports fans in Nebraska, Iowa, and the world. Punch us up at am590espnradio.com and hear us on the AM 590 app, Star 104.5 HD2, and AM 590 ESPN Omaha.
Building is more than a job. It's a craft. Combine that with integrity and proven results from a company that cares, you will have a finished product that sets your home or business apart. Ideal Construction Company's team is ready to help you on your next project. Whether it's a kitchen and bath remodel, building an addition to your home, or a commercial build-out, you only want the best on the job. Ideal Construction Company offers competitive rates, free estimates, and design services. Ideal Construction has been this area's trusted pros for over 2 decades with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. Schedule your free consultation now at idealconstruction.com.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
It started with a creak, then a clank, and before I knew it, bang. My old HVAC system was sending me distress signals. Was it a cry for help, a warning, or just the sound of impending doom? I needed a pro, fast. That's when I called Skradsky Heating and Cooling. Family owned, 70 years of experience, and free estimates on new systems. Case closed. Now my home's comfortable, my energy bills are lower, and my AC isn't plotting against me. Thanks, Skradsky. Schedule online at heatomaha.com. Skradsky Heating and Cooling, a Rheem Pro partner.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
Nick Hanley and Ben McLaughlin with you at Boshemer Stadium here on the campus of North Carolina. Josh Hilkeman back at our Acres Broadcast Center. Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. Acres solutions for every field. It's game day. Make it a Pizza Hut day. Order your favorite pizza, wings, and more from the Hut. As we get closer to first pitch elimination game here between Nebraska and Holy Cross, we'll take a look at our starting lineups here in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at our Nebraska Lottery scoreboard. Your attention, please. Your Nebraska Lottery has given $1 billion back to our state since 1993. The money has gone to protect the environment, improve education, and maintain the state fair. It's all part of helping build a better Nebraska. A lot of elimination games getting ready to start here for the first half of this Saturday slates. Looking at the Knoxville Regional, will be Miami of Ohio taking on Wake Forest. That'll be a 12 o'clock start right as we start. Also another noon start. South Carolina Upstate will take on Kentucky in the Clemson Regional. Binghamton going head-to-head with Oklahoma State in the Athens Regional, also a 12 o'clock start. 1 hour after us, the 1 o'clock start time, we'll have Bethune-Cookman taking on Northeastern. That's in the Tallahassee Regional. Other elimination game action, it'll be Western Kentucky taking on 10th-ranked Ole Miss out there in the Oxford Regional. A couple of 1 seeds were upset, Ole Miss being one of them. TCU will take on Oregon State in the Corvallis Regional, also an elimination game. That'll be at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Also at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, 12th-ranked Oregon taking on Cal Poly in the Eugene Regional. You've got other elimination action between Fairfield and Florida at 3 o'clock. That taking place in the Conway Regional out there in Coastal Carolina. 16th-ranked Southern Miss will be taking on Alabama in the Hattiesburg elimination game at 3 o'clock. Other 3 o'clock action, UC Irvine taking on Fresno State in the LA Regional. And at 3 o'clock, Little Rock taking on Rhode Island in an elimination game as well. Central Connecticut will take on NC State in the Auburn Regional. And that also an elimination game. Other winners bracket games later on this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on everything going on in college baseball. That is a look at your Nebraska Lottery scoreboard. And it's time to take a look at our starting lineups for this game. We'll take a look at the visitors on the scoreboard. That'll be the Holy Cross Crusaders, 31-26, losing yesterday 4-0 to North Carolina in their first game here in the Chapel Hill Regional. They will lead off with C.J. Egri. Egri, a junior, getting the start in right field, a .308 hitter with 60 hits on the year, 13 doubles. He's driven in 28, does have 5 home runs, and a team-high 35 stolen bases. Batting second, playing left field, will be John LaFleur. Sophomore, a .291 hitter with 46 hits, 8 doubles, 7 home runs, 48 driven in. Batting third, playing first base, will be Chris Belargian. The senior, a .383 hitter, 77 hits on the year with 18 doubles. He's got 3 home runs and 52 runs driven in, slugging .517 on the year. In the cleanup spot for the Crusaders, starting center fielder Gianni Royer. Royer's a .312 hitter, sophomore with 63 hits, 18 doubles. He's got 3 home runs and 40 RBI. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, will be Jimmy King, the senior, a .333 hitter with 72 hits. He's got 19 doubles, a home run, and 41 driven in on the year with 20 stolen bases. Batting sixth, playing third base, will be Connor Peak, the senior, a .333 hitter, 43 hits, 8 doubles, 2 home runs, and 28 RBI. Batting seventh, doing the DHing for Holy Cross, will be Sean Scanlon. He's a .222 hitter, senior with 42 hits, 14 doubles, 4 home runs, and 35 ribbies. Batting eighth, playing second base, will be Brennan Jones. Jones, a .232 hitter with 35 hits. The senior's got 8 doubles, 3 home runs, and 27 runs driven in. And rounding out the lineup for Holy Cross will be their catcher, Colin Brown, a sophomore with .274 in the year, 17 hits with 2 doubles, a home run, and he's driven in 10 on the season. Starting pitcher for Holy Cross will be the junior righty, Jaden Waiwoda. He is the reigning Patriot League Pitcher of the Year. Comes in with a 9-2 record. This will be his 16th appearance and 16th start. He's got a 3.65 earned run average. He has 2 complete games on the year. He's gone 79 innings, given up 71 hits, allowing 44 runs, 32 of those earned. He strikes out 78 on the year while walking 26. Opponents hitting .239 against Jaden Waiwoda, the starting pitcher for Holy Cross. Head coach for Holy Cross in his 6th season is Ed Kahovec. The assistant coaches are Sam Tinkham, Kyle Dombrowski, and Nicholas Stanovich. Take a look at Nebraska's starting lineup. Coming in with a record of 32-28. Exact same lineup we saw last night. It'll be Riley Silva to lead things off, playing center field. Silva hitting .288 on the year with 36 hits, 4 doubles, 16 runs driven in, 11 stolen bases. Had his 11th last night, tied for the team high with Caden Brumbaugh. Batting second, doing the DH, will be Devin Nunez. Nunez hitting .314 on the year, the freshman with 38 hits, 5 home runs, 22 RBI. Batting third, playing second base, will be Caden Brumbaugh. Brum, a .311 hitter, the junior with 74 hits on the year. He's got 18 doubles, 4 home runs. He's driven in 31, also with 11 stolen bases. In the cleanup spot will be Gabe Swanson, getting the start in left field. Swanee at .247, the senior with 38 hits, 11 doubles, 7 home runs, team high 44 RBI on the year. Batting fifth, playing first base, will be Case Sanderson. Sandy, a .318 hitter, 61 hits, 9 doubles. He's got 3 home runs and 31 RBI. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Dylan Carey. Junior at .293 on the year, 63 hits, 20 doubles, a team high there. 8 home runs, also has 40 RBI on the season. Batting seventh, getting the start in right field will be Max Butenbach, 289 hitter. Beauty, 35 hits on the year, 8 doubles, 7 home runs, 27 driven in, slugging .545 on the year. Batting eighth, playing third base will be Rhett Stokes. Stokes at .225 on the season with 16 hits. He's got 7 RBI on the year. And rounding out the lineup for Nebraska will be the catcher, Hogan Haligzo. Haligzo, 195 on the year. The senior with 23 hits. He's got 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 18 runs driven in. Starting pitcher for Nebraska will be sophomore righty Ty Horn. Horn comes in making his 18th appearance, 17th start, 3-4 on the season, a 5.29 earned run average, coming off of just an outstanding performance in the Big Ten championship game where he shut out UCLA, going 8 innings in that one. He's gone 78 1/3 on the season, given up 81 hits, allowing 51 runs, 46 of those earned. He has struck out 70 while walking 31. Opponents hitting .267 against Ty Horn. Head coach for Nebraska in his 6th season is Will Bolt. Pitching coach is Rob Childress. Assistant coaches are Lance Arvell, Mike Sirianni. Director of operations is Connor Behrens, and director of player development is Derek Roy. Our umpires for the game, 4-man crew, calling balls and strikes will be Connor Hoagland. First base line, it'll be Joe Harris. At second, it will be Brian Marine. And third base will be Brian DeBrouwer. And again, the dimensions here at Boshemer Stadium. 335 down the left field line. Straightaway centers at 400 in the very tall and beautiful-looking trees behind him, in that batter's eye right there in straightaway center. A little bit taller than what you typically see. And then in right field, it's 340 down the line. Nebraska will occupy the third base dugout as the home team on the scoreboard, the higher seed. Holy Cross will be in the first base dugout here in the all-natural grass surface. Great weather, field in great condition. We're ready to play some baseball. When we come back, we will have first pitch between Nebraska and Holy Cross as Ben McLaughlin will rejoin the broadcast here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Future. Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentor.
We are recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's. to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
24-hour sports coverage for Nebraska, Iowa, and beyond. This is KXSP Omaha, KSRZ HD2 Omaha, AM 590 ESPN Radio.
Alongside Nick Hanley, I'm Ben McLaughlin. Josh Hilkeman producing for us in our Acres Broadcast Center. Meeting at home plate has finished up between Will Bolt, head coach Ed Kahovic in his 6th year for Holy Cross, and our 4-umpire crew here for this elimination game here in the Chapel Hill Regional. This is a rematch of the 2017 Corvallis Regional. Nebraska lost to Holy Cross that afternoon, and that ended their season. So the Huskers trying for some revenge over the Crusaders here today in Chapel Hill. In fact, 2017 was the last time Holy Cross was in the postseason. This is a league that has been dominated by Army West Point, but Holy Cross takes things here this year and has found themselves into a regional. Weather not an issue today in terms of precipitation. 72 degrees here at the ballpark. And it is windy. 13 miles an hour with gusts close to 30 straight out of the west. And that is out to left field. So that is something to pay attention to here for this one in this pitching matchup between Waiwota and Horn. Huskers dropped the 7-4 contest yesterday to Oklahoma. Holy Cross fell 4-0 to the host Tar Heels of North Carolina. Huskers waiting to take the field. Going to get this one underway about 6 after the noon hour here on the Eastern time zone. Just after 11 back home in Nebraska. And our Cornerstone Bank time and temp report. Cornerstone Bank committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. This team has kind of adopted the motto of resilience here this year with the course of their 2025 season. And that's going to be put to the test here today against a scrappy Holy Cross team. Looking at their offensive numbers and what Horn will have in front of them here in this one. You've got the leadoff guy in C.J. Egri with 35 stolen bases, as Nick told you when he gave you the lineups, and more walks than strikeouts. You've got a handful of guys that right about that 1-to-1 ratio. So Ty Horn is going to have his hands full here with these Crusaders and trying to keep them off base here this afternoon in Chapel Hill. Huskers getting ready to take the field and ready to take the bump for the Big Red is Ty Horn. And for more on the Huskers starting pitcher, here's Nebraska pitching coach Rob Childress.
Well, just going out and being competitive the way he has been the last 6 weeks, and none bigger than last Sunday's performance. We gave him an extra day of rest based on 120 pitches, and does a great job fielding his position, controlling the running game for a team. And Holy Cross, it really wants to press you on the bases. I think he's going to do a great job, and know he'll give us our best chance to win, and we'll do whatever it takes out of the bullpen to find a way to get to tomorrow.
Whether you're looking to save money at the pump or help the environment, Unleaded 88 is the right fuel for you. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more. You know by now, but the last start for Ty Horn, back on the 25th, just 6 days ago, 8 innings against the Bruins in the title game. 3 hits, no runs, walked 3, struck out 6. And the defense behind Ty Horn has Gabe Swanson in left, Riley Silva patrolling center field, Max Butenbach back in right. Rhett Stokes at the hot corner for the injured Joshua Overbeek in a walking boot. His season is over. Dylan Carey manning the shortstop position. Caden Brumbaugh played a good second base last night against OU. Case Sanderson at first. And again, handling the catching duties for the Big Red is Hogan Haligso. Huskers in their white tops, white pants as the home team. Red socks, red script Nebraska across the chest in red. Red hats, white end on the front. The visiting Crusaders in their all-road grays, gray tops, gray pants, piped in purple. Script Holy Cross in all caps across the chest in purple, outlined in black purple hats, white HC logo on the front for Holy Cross. Ty Horn done with his warm-up tosses, and CJ Egri, a 308 batter, getting ready to lead off for Holy Cross. Yesterday, Egri was 0 for 2. Very fast player here for Holy Cross. They have a bunch of them. A lot of what Nebraska calls green runners, which the defense will need to pay attention here to today. Ty Horn ready for the first pitch of this elimination game, and it's a fastball at 94, a called strike right in there, 0-1. Connor Hoagland calling the balls and strikes today here in Chapel Hill. Stokes even with the bag at third. This one is just high, 1-1. Horns is just going to try and keep Nebraska in the fight today. No one's asking him to go 8 shutout, although the Huskers would certainly take that. The 1-1 pitch, that is drilled to left field. Swanson chasing into the gap. He turns and is off the top of the wall. It just stays in the yard, and it's a ringing double for Holy Cross to start the top of the first inning. That thing missed a home run by 3 feet. That was a fastball at 93 over the middle of the plate, and that ball was absolutely smoked just under the scoreboard in left center. So some early life for the Crusaders, and now John LaFleur. A pick coming to second, and it's a wild throw, but good job by Dylan Carey to glove that to keep it from going into center. If it was an accurate throw, I think they would have had him. That's an athletic play from Carey to save 90 feet. LaFleur, a left-handed batter. Horn's first pitch comes in. It's a breaking ball that is right on the inside corner, but it's called a ball. 1-0. That was very well located by Horn. Ty comes set, the 1-0 pitch. There's a strike right at the knees. With a changeup, it's 1-1. LaFleur in the game yesterday, 1 for 3. One of the 4 hits Holy Cross had against Jake Knapp, an All-American for North Carolina. This pitch is looped down the right field line. Tough play for Sanderson. It drops into fair territory for a base hit. They're going to hold the runner up at third. That was just a bloop single over the head of Sanderson down the right field line, and Holy Cross has the table set here against Horn in the top of the first. Really unlucky there for Ty, who chewed up LaFleur, and he just blooped one over the head of Sanderson, and it dropped in fair territory, and Holy Cross set up for a big inning. They are hooting and hollering in that first base Crusader dugout. Now here's Belargian. First pitch home from Horn is a slider that misses out, ball 1. Runners at the corners and great speed on the bases for Holy Cross with LaFleur and Egri. Horn's pitch, outside, 2-0. A double and a bloop single against Horn here in the top of the first. The pitch. Slider popped up on the infield near the shortstop. Carey comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. So a big first out for Ty. It's a good pitch on a changeup, and there's one away. Now double play ball might get you out of this, but you're going to have to turn it quick because Gianni Royer is the center fielder. He is blazing speed as well. First and third, 1 out. Horn has to work hard here in inning number 1. Here's the pitch. He squares around to bunt, bunts right through it. It's a strike. Nobody advances. It was a safety squeeze. Strike 1 to Royer. Stokes even with the bag at third. Sanderson holding the runner at first. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Another pitch right on the outside corner. Royer with some questions for the home plate umpire. A lot of that early from Holy Cross. Checking in with the home plate umpire after some strikes from Horn, but Ty is way ahead. The 0-2 pitch. High and tight, buzz the tower. His lid falls off, as we've seen so often here this year, and the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score, just underway in the top of the first, but Holy Cross put the full court press on Ty Horn here early. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Horn picks over to first to chase back the runner. No tag applied to LaFleur. Calixto will need to be on his toes today behind home plate. Horn comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Slider waved and missed. Strike out for Horn, and there's 2 gone. And now he's 1 pitch away from getting out of this mess.
The job's not done yet, but good bounce back, good sequence there. And for Ty Horn, getting quick flurry here, but now trying to get back on his terms.
Runner goes from first. This pitch is thrown right back to Horn. Now they have the runner caught up between third and home. Stokes has it now. He runs the runner back to third, and they've got chaos on the bases now. Carey misses the tag, but there's 2 runners at third base. They're going to call him out of the baseline. And we've got pandemonium here on the bases with the Crusaders. They are out, and the Crusaders are out in the top of the first. He was caught in a rundown between third and home, was called out of the baseline. Even if he wasn't, there was 2 Crusaders standing at third base, and the tag was applied. So after all that, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Through a half inning, no score. Holy Cross nothing. Nebraska coming to bat on the Huskers Radio Network.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump
and save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
It's game day. Make it a Pizza Hut day. Order your favorite pizza, wings, and more from the Hut. So just a bizarre sequence there as Nebraska dodging a major bullet early on. C.J. Egri running Holy Cross out of that inning. So he got caught up on the throw from Haligzo, who bluffed a throw to second as LaFleur was trying to steal. And they got Egri caught up in between third and home. And as it was LaFleur who went from second then to third, essentially eliminating any chance for Egri to be safe as well. He came out of the baseline. Now, ultimately, that was the call, and that was the third out. But instinct tells you to get to the bag that you can, but with 2 outs, you're doing the lead runner no favors, and he was going to be out either way. So Nebraska gets out of it, pumping some life into not only Ty Horn, but into that dugout. We'll see if Nebraska can use this, because that was a major bullet they dodged.
For those that saw the photo I posted on social media, the 3 Red Bulls, I guess I'm not drinking them fast enough, because I was not prepared to describe that play. That was something else.
It was chaotic.
Here's Silva against the pitcher of the year in the conference, Jaden Waiwoda. The first pitch is a fastball down into the dirt, ball 1.
Now, your call wasn't chaotic. That whole sequence
was certainly chaotic. There's people listening that have no idea what just happened. The Huskers got a 0 on the board. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Silva in open stance from the left side, awaits the 1-0. That's a called strike on the inner half, 1-1. Yesterday, Riley 1 for 5. Waiwoda, 6'3" right-hander, the 1-1. Breaking ball, rolled foul, third base side. That is going to be something to watch here the first trip through. As a curveball at 74 miles an hour, and it just hit off the end of the cap off the bat of Silva. This is the exact opposite of what the Huskers saw yesterday. Waiwoda last pitched against Columbia, 2 innings, 2 hits and a run. The pitch, low, 2-2. His 2 previous starts before Columbia were not overly good. Against Lehigh and against Army, he allowed 7 hits and 5 2/3 in both of those outings. The 2-2 pitch, breaking ball popped up left side. That's headed to the seats. And as expected, some difficulty early in timing up Waiwota. Fastball 86 to 87, but relies heavily on the slow breaking stuff. So the first trip through the order might be a bit of an adventure, and hopefully some adjustments can be made. But in an ideal scenario, you're able to jump on him early.
Well, just being able to try to stay tall on the backside and generate that power off the barrel, that's that major challenge.
Here's the 2-2. Little tapper again, foul, third base side. Fastball right over the heart of the plate.
You always see these types of pitchers, and we've kind of seen it early in this at-bat here, trying to get those hitters out on the front side, induce weak contact, and that's where Waiwota has had so much success this season.
The 2-2 offering, breaking ball, fouled again off to the left. So Silva spoiling all kinds of pitches from Waiwota, who is consistently over 100 pitches in his outing. So this is a guy that Holy Cross is planning to carry them most of the afternoon. 2-2 to the Huskers center fielder. Here's the pitch. Just low. It was down. We do have official TrackMan data tonight. And it's 3-2 to Silva. The payoff pitch is on its way. Breaking ball hit in the air to center. Tailing away from Jones in the left center gap. In fact, he gives way to the left fielder, LaFleur, who makes the catch for the first out. Pretty good battle there from Silva and Waiwota. I think overall you would love Riley to reach base, but a pretty successful first at-bat for Nebraska. Now Devin Nunez. Nunez singled in the first inning yesterday. First pitch comes in. Fastball low, 1-0. And then started to struggle a bit. Had 3 strikeouts. One of them, he was rung up by not getting into the box in time. The 1-0. Nunez swings and hits a high fly ball to left field, giving it a look as LaFleur reaches out, can't make the catch. It one-hops the wall and drops right on the fair foul line. It's a double for Nunez. And the Huskers have a runner in scoring position. That's exactly what you were talking about, Nick, that middle-op approach. It can be tough to do with a guy who doesn't throw overly hard. Your instinct is to get big and pull the ball, but that good approach with the wind blowing that way puts Nunez at second base.
Yeah, just, again, another perfect example of being able to let that ball travel. You see it at the very last moment, but still knowing that it's not going to blow by you, that you can trust your hands even as that ball gets deep into home plate, deep into the strike zone, and be able to just get solid contact, solid barrel on that. And as you mentioned, too, is that thing's tailing away there from LaFleur. Just a really good approach there by Nunez.
Now Brumbaugh with a chance to drive in a run. First pitch is a breaking ball down and away, 1-0. And I love the approach early for Nebraska. They've spit on a couple low breaking balls. Like to keep passing that along to the next guy who comes to the plate. The 1-0 pitch, inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
It's a really good effort by LaFleur out in left field. He still almost got to that. And this is the speed that you're going to see from Holy Cross. Just overall good team speed.
2 balls, no strikes on Brumbaugh. There goes Nunez. The pitch is a called strike. The throw to third is not in time. Nunez beats it out. Peak, the third baseman, not thrilled with the call. It's a strike to Brumbaugh, but the Huskers have their first run. Third base. That slow breaking stuff, that's another thing to come with it, is the stolen base. 2-1 on Brumbaugh. Here's the pitch. A little liner right back to the pitcher. No chance to throw out Nunez after making the catch was Waiwota. It was a jam shot that went right back to the pitcher. It wasn't hit hard, so Waiwota had a lot of time to react to it, and heads-up base running by Nunez to be able to scramble back to the bag.
I don't think Connor Peak was not at the bag yet. Waiwota had an initial opportunity to try to get Nunez and double him off, but Peak wasn't back.
First pitch to Swanson. It's a rocket to third, but on 2 hops, Peak picks it up and throws to first for the out. So both teams threatened severely to score in the first, but held off the board. So for Nebraska, nothing doing with the double and the stolen base. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left. After 1, no score. Nebraska and Holy Cross. This is Big Red Baseball.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
Call a timeout if you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. So, as Ben mentioned, both teams threatening in the first frame of this one in the elimination game between Nebraska and Holy Cross, but still zeros on the scoreboard. Here's we go to the top of the second.
Horn allowed a double off the top of the wall and left and a bloop single, but then after that got an infield pop-up, a strikeout, and then a base running error with this guy at the plate. That's Jimmy King, the shortstop. King is a very capable hitter for Holy Cross. Swings at the first one and pops it up out of play off to the right. Headed to the seats. King, second on the team in hits. He's got 72 hits this year. And the team lead in doubles. 19 doubles for him. And one of those guys that are really tough to strike out. This pitch is down and away, 1-1. No score, top of the second inning. Horn's next pitch, ground ball deep in the hole, short, tough play carry, backhands, throws on the run, and got him at first. Wow, what a play from Dylan Carey. He went to plant that back foot, and it gave out on him, but still able to get a strong throw to first against a very fast runner. And a big first out for Horn and the Huskers.
Yeah, the backhand set up well, and this is just understanding the situation in the hitters is what Dylan Carey, getting rid of that quick, getting the long hop. Sanderson picks it.
First pitch slider down and away. No swing on the appeal. Connor Peak, the third baseman. Peak batting .333. 1-0 pitch. Chopper foul, third base side. Third base umpire Brian DeBrouwer had a chance to pick that up. He elects to hold up play by not getting it, so Bryce Bender has to run out and grab it. So brief pause here. The 1-1. Just missed out with a changeup, 2-1. Ty mixing a lot early. Seen the changeup, seen the slider. He had to pitch himself out of trouble in the first. This pitch is ripped foul, third base side. That was a changeup that was way in off the plate. He yanked it foul. Horn needs to wait for Swanson to get back in his fielding position after getting that foul ball. Here's the 2-2. Bouncer up the middle, tough play. Carey can't get that one. Sneaks into center field for a base hit. Fastball at 94, right in on the hands. He didn't hit it overly hard, but just bounced it in the perfect spot. Third early hit against Horn.
Connor Peak, another guy that will be active on the bases. He's not one of those green runners as we talked about early, but does have 6 stolen bases. Again, it's just a collection of speed, 1 through 9, that you got to deal with.
And Horn just picked him off. So that threat is eliminated. Exactly, Ty Horn, the way his move is set up. He has such quick feet. He gets you as you're extending. And so your momentum is carrying to your right. You quickly have to adjust to your left. And by that time, the ball's waiting for him. First pitch home, misses outside, ball 1.
Well, Ben, this was something you and I were actually talking about on our way to the ballpark today, is Ty Horn dealing with these runners, but that pickoff move could be a weapon.
Wave and a miss here on the change. Sean Scanlon, the DH. Big left-handed hitter for Holy Cross. The 1-1. Down 2-1. So we talked a ton about what Holy Cross is trying to do on the bases. With that comes some outs, and they've certainly run into 2 already. This pitch is a mile high, headed towards the scaffolding on working on some dorms, I think, off to our right. Good thing they got hard hats on.
Oh, and Ben, this is using their aggressiveness on the base path against them.
The 2-2, roller first base side, that's just foul. Ty is working feverishly. I mean, the second that hitter indicates he's ready, he's bringing it home. Here's the 2-2. Just missed in. And it's full. Horn needs to come over. The 3-2. Breaking ball. Strike 3 call outside corner. And Horn works his way through the second after the 1-out base hit. No runs, a hit, no errors. No Crusaders left on base through an inning and a half here in Chapel Hill. No score. Nebraska and Holy Cross on the Huskers Radio Network.
Farming is hard work. Between managing crops, livestock, and equipment, there's not much time left to handle financing and loans. At Dakota Mac, we can help you do the heavy lifting when it comes to ag financing. Whether you're a full-time farmer, an investor, or a young and beginning farmer, we're here for you for all your ag lending needs. Let Dakota Mac help you work smarter, not harder.
Hi, it's Nick Reno from Dakota Mac. Call me at 308-380-7564 for all your ag financing needs.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Husker Baseball postseason brought to you by Pizza Hut. Make it a Pizza Hut day. Also, here's what's on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Well, we are here at the Chapel Hill Regional. The winner's bracket game takes place tonight, 6 o'clock between North Carolina and Oklahoma. Nebraska, if they were to win this game, they would take on the loser of tonight's game tomorrow at 12 o'clock local time, 11 o'clock Central Time. So Nebraska, again, trying to keep the season going here. And that, again, is what's on tap, brought to you by Michelob Ultra. It's only worth it if you enjoy it.
Sanderson, Carey, Butenbach due up. I like the matchup, really, with all 3 of these guys here in this at-bat with Waiwoda. You saw Sandy with, by far, the best at-bats of the night by any Husker last night against OU. First pitch of the second inning is a fastball, misses outside, ball 1. Sanderson finished 2 for 3 with a walk and a double. Waiwoda ready for the 1-0. Down and in. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 fastballs from Waiwoda, and he wants a new pill. Taking a page right out of the playbook of Malachi Witherspoon.
Well, it was effective for Witherspoon, I suppose.
Sure was. He had a good night. See the other Witherspoon later tonight. The 2-0 pitch. Sanderson swings and crushes one to deep center field. Jones going back to the track and makes the catch on the warning track. A loud first out as Sanderson puts a jolt into one just in front of the 400 mark in dead central. 107 off the bat for Sandy. And the Huskers, unlike yesterday, finding a lot of barrels early.
Well, you mentioned the wind. there before we got things started, and that also knocked that down just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
First pitch to Dylan Carey, breaking ball over for a strike at the knees, 0-1. Sandy gets into one, but he's allowed first out.
Oh, he is seeing the ball so well this weekend.
The 0-1. Carey squares to bunt, bunts it right out in front of the plate. Waiwoda runs up, picks it up, throws. Close at first, but Carey's out. Wasn't a great bunt. I think it did momentarily catch Holy Cross by surprise, but it wasn't close enough to either of the lines. Waiwoda just fielded his position and threw a strike to first.
Well, I think what you're seeing too, Ben, and I don't know how much of this changes for Holy Cross, what we see in the first 2 innings from them and trying to run the bases, but you can tell both teams are trying to generate that traffic and just understanding how important it is to strike first in this game.
First pitch to Max Butenbach, down and in on him, 1-0. Beauty had the 3-run triple down the left field line yesterday. Carey made it close at first, but he was out by a good half step. Waiwoda brings it home. Butenbach swings and flares one off the end of his bat, foul third base side. Seen a little bit of that, as to be expected. We're going to be held up play here again. We've got this brick design here at the ballpark, and that is on all the walls all the way around to the outfield fence. And so any foul ball that's on the ground bounces off of that brick and rolls into fair territory. The 1-1 pitch. Butenbach takes a little bit low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Max in for the injured Robbie Bolin. Dealing with the hamstring injury. Did see Robbie as a pinch hitter yesterday. The 2-1. There's that slow breaking ball. That one gets a good chunk of the plate, 2-2.
But I get Max is not going to offer it that one at 2-1, but now you're in a 2-2 count. You got to be aware of that pitch again and be able to protect the outer half here.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Butenbach turns on one, but again hits one out of this facility at 110 off his bat. But he was way out in front of that fastball. Another good swing, though, from Butenbach. Still fighting with 2 strikes. Chokes up a bit. The pitch. Breaking ball. Just missed low by a hair. And now it's full. Waiwoda again thought he had Butenbach struck out. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Holy Cross right-hander. Ready for the pitch. Here it is. Breaking ball pulled right into the Crusader dugout.
Ben, we saw Riley Silva see a similar breaking ball that missed low that Max took to run it full. You wonder if Nebraska's at least picking that pitch in that particular spot up early. And if so, that's a good sign.
Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball, lone outside, ball 4. So Butenbach draws a 2-out walk, and now Rhett Stokes going to get a look here with a runner at first and 2 outs.
That's a great at-bat by Max Butenbach. A couple of pitches that Wyoda's probably had success throughout this season, getting hitters to offer at it and induce some weak contact. And it's as good of an at-bat as it is for Max Butenbach. It's equally, if not more, frustrating for Jaden Waiwoda there.
Yep, agreed. And now you hope he makes a mistake.
Right.
The way Max runs, a gapper might score him from first. The first pitch to Stokes. Low and away with a fastball, 1-0. Huskers trying to extend this second inning on Jaden Waiwoda, the conference pitcher of the year for Holy Cross. Pick over to first, chases back Butenbach. Butenbach, a good lead from first. The 1-0 pitch. Stokes takes a strike at the knees this time. That's a good pitch. Not a bad idea from Stokes to let that one go by.
Yeah, good pitch execution, good take. Nothing you're really going to be able to get solid contact on. Now you just...
Close pickoff over at first. Butenbach is ahead of the throw.
And if you're Rhett, you hope that he comes a little bit more inside on you. Find something to get a barrel on.
Another pick over to first. No tag applied by Belargian this time. No score. Bottom of the second. Butenbach with a 2-out walk gets the lead from first. The 1-1 pitch to Stokes. Breaking ball looped into right center field. Long run for Egri, who runs well. No problem tracking that down in right center field for the third out of the inning. For the Huskers, no runs, no hits, no errors, a walk and one left. Still scoreless after 2 in Chapel Hill. Between Nebraska and Holy Cross, this is Big Red Baseball.
Hey, this is Joe Fortenbaugh, AM 590 ESPN Radio. Omaha is your #1 station for everything sports. Tune in for coverage of the NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, pro volleyball, and more. Plus, keep up with all your favorite college sports each weekday. AM 590 ESPN Radio, 24-hour sports coverage for sports fans in Nebraska, Iowa, and the world. Punch us up at am590ESPNradio.com and hear us on the AM 590 app, Star 104.5 HD2, and AM 590 ESPN Omaha.
Building is more than a job. It's a craft. Combine that with integrity and proven results from a company that cares, you will have a finished product that sets your home or business apart. Ideal Construction Company's team is ready to help you on your next project. Whether it's a kitchen and bath remodel, building an addition to your home, or a commercial build-out, you only want the best on the job. Ideal Construction Company offers competitive rates, free estimates, and design services. Ideal Construction has been this area's trusted pros for over 2 decades with offices in Omaha and Lincoln. Schedule your free consultation now at idealconstruction.com.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
Hands on the wheel, head in the game. The driver has one job, to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Both teams held off the board through the first 2 innings. Some hard-hit balls both sides. Ty Horn has 8, 9, and 1 here in the top of the third. And in for us to take us through is Nick Hanley.
All right, thanks, Ben. Brennan Jones will lead it off, the second baseman for Holy Cross. Jones comes in, hitting .232. 35 hits, 8 doubles, 3 home runs, 27 ribbies on the year. We talked about Holy Cross and the overall speed. There is solid contact, and really to this part of the game, we've seen a couple of solid swings from the Crusaders in their first time through the order, seeing Ty Horn. First offering, fastball down the middle, strike 1 to Brendan Jones. Ty Horn working with that quick pace, as Ben mentioned. Breaking ball low inside. 1-1 here on the 8-hole hitter, Brendan Jones. Holy Cross with 3 hits, Nebraska with 1, but a lot more solid contact early for Nebraska compared to last night. Misses upstairs with the changeup. 2-1. On Brendan Jones. Horn with 2 strikeouts in this start here to this point. Here's the 2-1. Fastball's right there. Middle, 2-2. Was a promising start for Holy Cross. A double and a single to lead the game off. 2-2 pitch. That one's turned on high in the air, working its way in foul territory down the right side. Sanderson trying to get a beat on it. Goes just over the net, out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. And we talked about a big out that Ty Horn was able to record on the 3-hole hitter, Belargian, who flew out to Dylan Carey, and then it was a strikeout to Johnny Royer. This one is shot the other way, foul, out of play, and I'll get out of the ballpark. 2 balls, 2 strikes remains the count on Brennan Jones. And then just the attempted steal. This one chopped foul down the first baseline. So Brennan Jones battling away here at 2-2 on Ty Horn. You're the lead man here in the 3rd inning. But it was C.J. Egri who got caught between third and home on the steal attempt by LaFleur that got Haligzo to throw quickly back to Horn instead of opting to go for the out at second, or at least the attempt. And that caused all kinds of chaos. Here's a little weakly hit ground ball over to first. Sanderson gloves it, fires over to Ty Horn, and flips it over to Ty Horn to get the first out. So Ty Horn wins the battle, gets the first out here at the top of the 3rd. 9-hole hitter Colin Brown, the catcher, making his way to the right-handed batter's box. You felt like right there, that was not only the pitch that Ty Horn needed to get on Belargian, and then the subsequent strikeout as he misses high and inside on the first offering to Colin Brown. But then using that aggressiveness from Holy Cross against them. I feel like Nebraska dodged a major bullet and really kind of settled back into this game. There's a fastball down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike. These elimination games, all of those opportunities early trying to strike first, so huge. His fastball misses high and inside. 2-1 on Colin Brown. Brown's a .274 hitter. Trying to get time and trying to slow down the pace of Ty Horn. Here's the 2-1. Just got a piece of that one back to the wall. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 10 ribbies for the Crusader catcher. Has 2 doubles on the year and a home run. The 2-2. That's poked the other way. Foul up against the net over by Holy Cross's dugout. Holy Cross in the road grays. Nebraska in the all whites. The high red socks. 2-2 again. Breaking ball. Ground ball over to Carey. Glove side. Picks it up. Over to first in time for out number 2. It'll take us back to the top of the order. C.J. Egri, who just missed a home run to lead this game off. Hit one to left center field right off the wall. He was the one who ended up becoming the third out of that inning, though. Getting hung up between third and home. See how Ty Horn wants to go after him here. First offering, breaking ball way outside and low. Egri, solid numbers, 311 on the year, 61 hits. This one popped over our head out of play, 1-1. He's got 28 ribbies on the year, 14 doubles, his 14th back in the first. Does have 5 home runs. The 1-1 upstairs, 2-1. 35 stolen bases. He can definitely run. 2-1 pitch. Just missed inside of the breaking ball.
It's unique. I can't remember of a regional that has a structure of Nebraska's 3 potential opponents with the exact same build as all 3 opponents. It's really bizarre.
The 3-1 pitch. This one shot at center field on a line, but right to the waiting Riley Silva for the third out. So the Crusaders go down in order 1-2-3 in the top of the third as we head to the bottom of the third. Scoreless between Nebraska and Holy Cross here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Sophistication meets performance in your new vehicle from Woodhouse Cadillac. Explore special financing and exclusive offers happening now. Receive $4,906 in savings plus 4.4% APR for 36 months on the 2024 Cadillac XT4 Sport. Visit us in-store or online at WoodhouseCadillac.com. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, plus finance with GM Financial, $299 doc fee due at signing. Courtesy transportation vehicle, 3,237 miles. Offer expires 5/31/2025. See dealer for details.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at Emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
For all your office needs, think EEKS. Office supplies, janitorial and cleaning supplies, copiers and printers, technology solutions and furniture. Visit EEKS.com.
Nebraska 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the third. Scoreless game between the Huskers and the Crusaders. Again, Holy Cross losing yesterday to open up this regional in Chapel Hill 4-0 to the host, North Carolina. Nebraska falling 7-4 to Oklahoma. That'll be your winner's bracket game tonight, OU and North Carolina. Should be a great pitching matchup in that one as well. Winner of this game will move on into another elimination game tomorrow at noon, taking on the loser of tonight's winner's bracket game. Hogan Aligzo will lead it off for Nebraska. Eligzo 195 on the year. Had a really good Big Ten tournament. First pitch to him. Breaking ball misses inside, 1-0. Eligzo's numbers, we've told you throughout this entire year, are very deceiving. There's pop in that bat. There's a little chopping ground ball over to third. It's going to make its way foul. It'll even up 1-1 on Eligzo. Hogan, who had a big double in that game against Oregon. Nebraska was on a string where they were really jumping out to some leads and getting some crooked numbers in the process. Eligzo part of that offensive attack. And really caught this staff. It really has all year. Caught the staff so effectively as well. 1 ball, 1 strike here on the Husker catchers. He shoots it the other way. Foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eligzo prepped at Elkhorn South High School in the Metro. Started his college career at Creighton and then finishing out here in Lincoln. Waiwoda kicks and fires. Way outside, 2-2. Eligzo, who has seen a lot of pitching, has played a lot of college baseball in his career. Long look in, Waiwoda now gets it, misses away with the fastball, and Eligzo works it 3-2. We talked about it last week in that moment with the crowd and the Big Ten title game and Nebraska hoisting a trophy. It's guys like Hogan Eligzo. They made that choice to come to Nebraska. 3-2 pitch. Upstairs, he draws a leadoff walk. Good at bat there by Hogan Eligzo. You felt great for those guys that wanted to experience that, wanted to, especially being a local product like Eligzo, seeing that all the way through to the Big Ten championship and being able to hoist up some hardware there. It's a great story. Here's Riley Silva now, his second look at Jaden Waiwoda. Had a lengthy at bat to lead the game off, ended up flying out to left field. Silva, left-hander. Throw back over Eligzo in there safely.
He sure was. He was safe. Hogan was like, his instinct was to dive, and he definitely didn't need to.
No. Leaving nothing a chance, though. Oh, this one hits him. Riley Silva, breaking ball did not break. Got him right on, it looked like the knee, the right knee, because that thing ricocheted significantly. Now, the good news is it was a curveball, and now we're going to have a conversation with the Holy Cross pitching coach and Waiwoda as the first 2 Huskers have reached.
Yeah, that got Riley good, and that hit him. And you don't like one getting hit in his legs, because that's the big weapon for him. And let's just make it a cool 20 for the year.
There's 20. As you mentioned it last week, I believe it was against, might have been Penn State.
Ooh, it was right in the ankle bone.
Yeah.
Just saw a replay.
Yeah, he's still walking it off right now. And even though that was a breaking ball at 76 miles an hour, you get that square on bone, which it totally did.
He needs to get that shin guard back on that he was wearing.
Well, now you got Devin Nunez, handles the bat well. But this is where the movement of the pitch, you got to trust the barrel and what you're still trying to do. Don't overthink it and try to stab at it. So Devin Nunez with runners at first and second. Now Nunez doubled the other way back in the first. He's 1 for 1 today. Likely in a situation where he's going to be called upon to get runners in scoring position with nobody out. Eligzo leading away from second, Silva over at first. Nunez steps in. Waiwoda set at the letters. Checks Eligzo. Nunez shows bunt and bunts it over to Caden Brumball, who just caught that in the on-deck
It's a good thing we're not playing wiffle ball.
Yeah.
Because that would have been friendly fire.
Yep. So Nunez, first bunt attempt, foul. Brumball just did that effortlessly, too. Kind of showing off there, if you ask me. The pitch. And this one's turned on into right field. Heligzo going to be held up at third as the throw coming in from right fielder Egri, but they take the bunt off, and Devin Nunez rewards him with a sharply hit single into right field. He's got a 2-hit game, and now Nebraska has the bags full with nobody out.
Yeah, he made a mistake. Hanging breaking ball there, and honestly, Dev wasn't real committed to that first bunt, and instead of proving a point to the youngster, they let him swing away, and he just mashed one in the right. Now you got to make this hurt. You've set the table with a walk and a hit by pitch. Now you got a single, and that gets the bodies scrambling in that Crusader bullpen.
Holy Cross will play, the corners will play even, but not drawing anything in here. There's a foul ball down the third base line. 0-1 here on Caden Brumbaugh. So Waiwoda with the jam here. Huskers 3-hole hitter who softly lined back to Waiwoda in the first. He's 0 for 1. A big moment here for Nebraska. 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off the ankle of Caden Brumbaugh.
Of all the Huskers that have seen Waiwoda well, I wouldn't characterize Brumbaugh as one of them to this point. The good news is he's an experienced college hitter, and you hope you can make an adjustment and find a way to get a barrel on a ball here.
Yeah, at the very least, trying to bring in Heligzo from third. Going to have to battle now, down 0-2. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. And he just reaches out and fouls that one off to the right, out of play. Count remains 0-2. Jake Lenahan, the closer for Holy Cross, getting loose. And again, a game that you can leave nothing to chance. Got to have arms ready to rock and roll if you want to keep playing baseball this season. Waiwoda set the letters. The 0-2. Fouled off again, off to the right. On a center cut fastball, so Waiwoda made a mistake there. Brumbaugh. Going back to your original point, I just don't think you've maybe seen it very well from Waiwoda. Heligzo leading the third. Silva at second. Nunez at first. Nobody out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. That is a huge strikeout for Waiwoda.
His first one, and now some changing of the gear as Swanson comes to the plate. Yeah, you just got the feeling that Brumbaugh just wasn't seeing it very well. Because the pitch before, Brown, the catcher, set up in the left-handed batter's box. He had to reach back over the center of the plate, and Brumbaugh could only flip it foul.
Well, does Gabe Swanson still have some of that postseason magic that we've seen not only from this season but last year as well? Off the plate, the first offering and a fastball, 1-0. Waiwoda, he's making mistakes here. Can Nebraska be on time here? Bases loaded, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third, a scoreless game. The pitch. Misses low and outside with the fastball. Now 2-0. Gabe Swanson, who grounded out sharply to Connor Peak over at third, back in the first. 0 for 1 today. Up in the count, 2-0. Nowhere to put him. Here's the pitch. Way outside, 3-0.
And I consider green lighting him here.
I would too.
Mean, he's hunting heat. Fastball that's not a ton on it. If it's middle in and you're ready to unload, you got to get on the board.
This is where you trust one of your seniors in that situation to go after the pitch that only he can hit. The 3-0. He laid off of it. It's down the middle, 3-1. And so now you definitely are looking for that pitch to drive. Waiwoda has been a little shaky with the control here this inning. Nebraska needing to make him pay. Here's the 3-1. That shot the other way, foul. Now it's run full here on Gabe Swanson. Now you got to be ready for anything. Fastball was on the outer half of the strike zone. Swanson tried to go with it. Big pitch coming here. Here it is. It's pop up into right field, kind of shallow, working its way towards foul territory. And this will be caught by the first baseman. No tag by Heligzo. And so now Holy Cross is one pitch away from getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam with Nebraska's 3 and 4 hitters retired. We talked about Nebraska dodging a major bullet in the first inning. If Holy Cross gets out of this jam, the type of life that puts right into that first base dugout could be huge. Case Anderson, who had a long fly ball, the deepest part of the park, had just held it back in the second inning. 0 for 1 today. The pitch. Breaking ball in the outer half, called strike.
You're right. The Crusaders are going to come pouring out of that dugout if Wyoda can finish it. Hopefully Sanderson has something to say about it.
Case we've talked about, who's really been swinging the bat well here early in this regional. 0-1 pitch. Shot the other way, foul. It's now 0-2 to the Husker first baseman. Inning was set up with a good at-bat by Heligzo, who drew a walk. Then it was Riley Silva getting plunked. Evan Nunez sharply hit single to right, but then a strikeout and a fly out to first. 0-2 pitch, way outside, almost got away from Colin Brown as he snags that one to keep Heligzo over at third. 1-2. These moments are amplified knowing what's at stake when your season is on the line. Wyoda sets up on the inside part of the rubber. Comes set the letters. Here's the pitch. This ball is softly hit, lined out right to the third baseman, and Holy Cross gets out of it. My goodness. A huge missed opportunity offensively for Nebraska. It's no runs off one hit, no errors, and 3 huge runners left on base. We played 3 here at Boshemer Stadium. Still scoreless between Nebraska and Holy Cross. This is Big Red Baseball.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WEALTH25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WEALTH25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
24-hour sports coverage for Nebraska, Iowa, and beyond. This is KXSP Omaha, KSRZ HD2 Omaha, AM 590 ESPN Radio.
Nick Hanley, Ben McLaughlin back with you here at Boshemer Stadium as we got our entire crew with Camden Cohn, Josh Hilkeman, David Swotek, all back in the Acres broadcast studio. In Lincoln, the Huskers miss a major opportunity. Bases loaded, nobody out situation with hitters 3, 4, 5 coming up. And the Huskers have a strikeout, a fly out to the first baseman and the soft liner to the third baseman, and they are stranded. This one's turned on by the 2-hole hitter, John LaFleur, foul. And even with Nebraska getting left off the scoreboard in that situation, if you're Ty Horn, you feel almost the same as if they did. You need a shutdown here. This one turned on the right to Case Anderson on the line out. So 2 pitches, 1 out recorded for Ty Horn, just to try to get that momentum back in the dugout for Nebraska after Holy Cross has got to be feeling it, getting out of that unscathed. So here's Belargian, first baseman. Flew out to Dylan Carey. Ty Horn going to ask for a new pill.
Yeah, you can't let that moment play into this half inning right here, exactly as you mentioned.
First pitch, breaking ball up a bit, 1-0.
Although it is back-breaking to have that set up for your 3, 4, 5 hitters.
1-0 offering, swing and a miss on the breaking ball low, got him to chase, 1-1.
And to not get the ball to the infield is very disappointing, but you can't let that affect the top of the fourth.
1 ball, 1 strike. This ball hit sharply over to second. Brumball gets it over to first in time. So a couple of hard-hit baseballs off the bat, but nothing to show for it here for Holy Cross in the top of the fourth. Here's Gianni Royer, strikeout victim back in the first inning. They're going to try to break up a little bit of Ty Horn's rhythm here. Offensive timeout called.
Yeah, smart.
By Kohovic.
He just had his pitcher, Waiwota, have to empty the tank. And hopefully Ty can come back and just fill up the zone here and get Nebraska right back to the plate.
Well, if you remember Ty Horn's last start, other than the success he had, remember UCLA in between pitches, a lot of delay. They would wait till the very last moment to step in the batter's box. So this is nothing new. First pitch, fastball, up just a bit, 1-0. And you understand what Holy Cross is trying to do there. I think Nebraska would do something similar if they were in that situation. Ty, who just works very quickly. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, missed in. 2-0. Well, we also told you during that bases loaded opportunity for Nebraska, Jake Lenahan was close to possibly coming in the game. That's their closer. This one misses low. It's 3-0. Going to have to battle all the way back here on Gianni Royer. Starting center fielder for the Crusaders. 3-0 offering. That is up, I guess.
Oh, my.
Well, that was in the strike zone, just not called a strike. So a 4-pitch walk here with 2 away. We'll bring up Jimmy King, the shortstop.
I'm not sure where to even say that pitch missed.
It was in the upper half of the strike zone.
Now you have Royer, who runs at first, and good speed here, and King, who's second on the team in hits. So you've created a bit of a situation here with that walk.
Yeah, Royer with 24 stolen bases. This one misses way outside with a fastball, 1-0. So Ty Horn going to have to get back on track. Hogan Ligzo Cincinnati going to come out and talk. So is Rob Childress now making his way out of the third base dugout. Ty Horn, who was able to get 2 outs on 4 pitches. Make that 5 pitches, but then the 4-pitch walk to Royer, and was definitely a lot more off the plate with that first offering to Jimmy King.
And that walk snapped a streak of 6 straight retired from Horn, too, so it really busted him out of his rhythm. As you mentioned, with the speed, with Royer at first, and the consistent year that King has had, 333 coming into today's game. Most at bats on the team, second on the team in hits. Leads the team in doubles. A gap here would likely give Holy Cross the game's first run.
And again, it's not a shutdown inning, but it has a similar feel to it after Nebraska missed out on a major opportunity. You just don't want Holy Cross to feel like they've got all of the momentum. And if Ty Horn could, here's a quick throw back to first, that quick pickoff move, got to be alert if you're Holy Cross. As Royer is in there safely. Just feel like that is an important shutdown opportunity. Another quick pickoff attempt, pickoff throw under the tag. Ty Horn does have a pickoff. Got Connor Peak after he singled. 1-0 pitch. Fastball is low. Didn't miss by much there, but it is definitely low off the plate. Hat comes off again. 2-0 here on Jimmy King. Ty Horn trying to lock back in here. Scoreless game. The pitch upstairs, 3-0. Now all of a sudden Ty Horn not finding the strike zone. Gonna have to climb all the way back. Again, the pitch down the middle. 3-1 here on the Holy Cross shortstop. Crusaders out hitting Nebraska 3-2 in this game. Quick throw back over to first again. Mentioned 3 players in particular, and Gianni Royer being one of them, with over 20 stolen bases. 20 or more, that is. 3-1 pitch. There's a ground ball chopper over towards second. Brumball gets over the head of Brumball, and so they'll go from first to third. And a single keeps the inning alive, and now runners are at the corners here. So 2 quick outs recorded for Nebraska, but now some traffic and another big moment in this game.
And we've seen this at times with Horn, Nick, this year, where he gets 2 quick outs and then all of a sudden things start getting a bit sideways and a bit hairy, and that's exactly what's happened here in the 4th. Now he has to work around 2 fast runners to get this last out.
Yeah, Jimmy King on the season with 20 stolen bases. First pitch to Connor Peak. Breaking ball just off the plate, 1-0.
And he's fallen behind each of the last 3 hitters. So he's getting himself behind the 8 ball here.
Connor Peak 1 for 1 today. Had a single up the middle. 1-0 offering. Called strike on the outside corner. Might have got one there. 1 ball, 1 strike on Connor Peak. Runners are at the corners. Royer from third, King from first. The pitch. Breaking ball. Misses outs. 2-1. Just a big moment here in the top of the 4th. 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase. A breaking ball way out of the zone. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on Connor Peak. Runners at the corners, 2 away here in the top of the 4th in a scoreless game. Elimination game between Nebraska and Holy Cross. Horn set, the 2-2. Upstairs, 3-2. King will be off on the pitch. Casey Anderson letting him know that he's going to play behind the runner. And they're going to actually go back and try to hold him on. Here's the 3-2. That one is hit well, but playable for Max Butenbach. Now running in as the wind really knocked that down. He makes the catch to retire the side. A ball that was initially hit decently off the bat, but the wind just pushed that thing down. So no runs off 1 hit, no errors. 2 big runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Scoreless between Holy Cross and Nebraska on the Huskers Radio Network.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience.
You know what? I agree.
The life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebrascamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the game day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 800 fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Nebraska Baseball brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com for all your truck, SUV, and electric vehicle needs. The Huskers have been on the doorstep of the scoreboard all day, none more so than the bottom of the 3rd, where they had the bases loaded and nobody out for the heart of their order and don't score. Luckily, Ty Horn has been up to the challenge, and he's done his part to get zeros on the board for the Husker defense. And so now Dylan Carey will try and start it here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
6-7-8 for Nebraska here in the Husker half of the 4th. Carey almost legged out a bunt in his first at bat of this game. The second was beat by half a step. 0 for 1 today. Waiwoda, who was on the razor's edge the last inning, now a new life. First pitch misses low and outside with the breaking ball. Huskers hoping to get into a similar situation. Try to get some traffic. Looking for that clutch hit. This one's turned on into left field. Coming in, though, is John LaFleur, now under it. Makes the catch, moving a little bit to his left for the first out. We'll bring up Max Butenbach. Max walked. Had a bases-clearing triple yesterday. 3 RBI triple. Giving Nebraska the bulk of their runs in their 7-4 loss to Oklahoma last night. Butenbach getting his 2nd straight start since coming back from a long illness. Breaking ball misses inside here on the Husker right fielder. Butenbach, before yesterday, his last start was on the 2nd of May. That was the Friday night game against Minnesota in that 3-game series. That's how long he had been out. Did come in. This one misses inside as well, 2-0. Did come in for Robbie Bolin in the Big Ten championship game, and he did so early because Bolin made that catch in the bottom of the first where he had aggravated a hamstring. 2-0 offering. Breaking ball misses low again. 3-0 here on Max Butenbach. You can hear the wind blowing into our face a little bit more right to left. Fastball just catches the outside corner, 3-1. And that ball that Butenbach caught to end the last half inning really was a result of what that wind is doing. It's pushing everything down from right field. 3-1 pitch. Laid off of it, called a strike anyway on the outer half. Looked close to being off the plate there. Good take there by Max Butenbach, but now going to have to battle it 3-2. With one out here in the bottom of the fourth in a scoreless game. The pitch, and that's hit up the middle, gets through for a base hit. Jimmy King couldn't get to that in time. So Max Butenbach has a one-out single here in the bottom of the fourth. Rhett Stokes makes his way to the plate. Stokes flew out to right field. 0 for 1 today. Stokes hitting .222 on the year. And much like Max Butenbach inserted in the lineup due to injury, Rhett Stokes in that Penn State game, the Big Ten semifinal, getting a start after Joshua Overbeek had an ankle injury. There's a runner takes off, chopping ground ball over to third, handled by Peak, fires over to first just in time. Butenbach does get into scoring position on the hit and run. There are 2 outs, runner in scoring position for Hogan Eligzo. Eligzo walked back in the third and really got that inning that you thought was going to be so promising for Nebraska started with a really solid at-bat. Fought off a couple of pitches, worked it full, and eventually walked, but was stranded at third. So Eligzo, second time in as many innings, we'll see Waiwoda. Jaden Waiwoda now at 65 pitches, breaking ball way outside, 1-0. And we told you Jake Lenahan, the closer for Holy Cross, who was warming the last inning, would imagine would be ready to go on a moment's notice. Good speed at second with Butenbach leading away with 2 outs. This ball is hit into center field, but right at Gianni Royer, who will make the easy play of it to retire the side. So the Huskers leave one stranded, no runs off 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base through 4. Here at Boshamer Stadium, still scoreless between Holy Cross and Nebraska in this NCAA regional elimination game. This is Big Red Baseball.
AM 590 ESPN Radio Omaha is your #1 station for everything sports. Tune in for coverage of the NFL, NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, Pro Volleyball, and more. Plus, keep up with all your favorite college sports each weekday. 24-hour sports coverage for sports fans in Nebraska, Iowa, and the world. Punch us up at am590ESPNradio.com and hear us on the AM 590 app, Star 104.5 HD2, and AM 590 ESPN Omaha.
I'm Governor Jim Pillen.
And I'm John Hilger, Director of the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs.
Nebraska veterans deserve our appreciation and our respect. This year, I'm joining NDVA in honoring our state's living World War II veterans with a special medal celebrating 80 years of victory. If you are a World War II veteran or if you know of someone who is, please reach out so we can recognize their service.
Go to veterans.nebraska.gov/WW2 for more information. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
Lincoln Airport is the official airport of the Huskers. Book your tickets at goflylnk.com. So starting to see those base runners left on, stacking up again for Nebraska. 6 now, 3 for Holy Cross. Scoreless between the Huskers and the Crusaders as we've reached the 5th inning in this regional elimination game. And to tell you about it once again, here's Ben McLaughlin.
All right, thanks, Nick. It'll be 7-8-9 for Ty Horn, who really saw that 4th inning extend on him after 5 pitches and 2 outs to start it. It was a 2-out walk followed by a single, and then A fly out to right. Finally ended the inning, but Horn was about to throw pitch number 70 to start the fifth in a scoreless game. Hard to believe no runs have been pushed across from either side at this point. First pitch of the inning to Scanlon is a breaking ball over 0-1. Holy Cross has out-hit Nebraska in this one 4-3. The 0-1 pitch, that is turned on to deep right field, and we are scoreless no more. Solo home run from Scanlon. Holy Cross leads it 1-0. Scanlon with his 5th home run of the year. That's the first run of the regional for the Crusaders. Now Brendan Jones. Horn going to have to flush that one and get right back on it. The pitch, way high, ball 1. In between innings, Huskers sent bodies to their bullpen. The 1-0 pitch, down to the dirt, 2-0. Holy Cross feeling it right now. And the Huskers trying to slow the momentum down. The 2-0 pitch popped up out of play off to the left. Two balls and a strike on Brendan Jones. The pitch. Breaking ball up, 3-1. Ty's falling behind here. The number 8 batter. The pitch. Popped up, out of play, full count. Scanlon gets some big revenge with the home run off of Horn after he struck out looking in the second. The 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3, outside corner. Horn bounces back with a strikeout. His 3rd. And 1 away. Now Colin Brown, the catcher. Brown grounded to short his first time up. The pitch. Popped up right side on the infield. Brumbaugh coming in, Wynn playing with it. Caden still coming in, squeezes with 2 hands. And there's out number 2. Now back to the top of the order with Egri, who has been all over Ty Horn today. He doubled off the top of the wall to start the game. And then he lined out sharply to center field his last time. 2 outs, nobody on base. Here's the pitch. In there with a changeup, 0-1. Horn's pitch. Backed him up. Another changeup just missed in, 1-1. 1-0, Holy Cross. Here's the pitch. That one's hit hard to left. Swanson backing up, makes the catch on the line. Had some topspin to it, thankfully. Swanson makes the catch on the warning track. Egri barrels up another ball, but he isn't out. Holy Cross scores a run on a hit. A solo homer from Scanlon. Nobody left on base. We're halfway through here in Chapel Hill. Holy Cross 1, Nebraska 0 on the Huskers Radio Network.
Your Midwest Ford dealers believe value should drive everything we do. And with employee pricing, you pay what we pay. For 11 days only during the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon, the deals are even bigger. Get employee pricing on Ford's best-selling trucks and SUVs. But hurry, this value-driven offer is only during the Memorial Day Sell-a-thon. Get employee pricing and 0.9% APR plus $3,000 cash on a Ford F-150. But hurry, it all ends June 2nd. Go to your Midwest Ford dealers today. Driven by value.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan.
Townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Okalala.
Your attention, please. Your Nebraska Lottery's given $1 billion back to our state since 1993. The money has gone to protect the environment, improve education, and maintain the state fair. It's all part of helping build a better Nebraska. So Scanlon goes yard for Holy Cross. Nebraska looking for a response here in the bottom of the fifth. They will bring up the top of the orders. Riley Silva will lead it off for Nebraska here in the bottom half of the frame.
Nebraska, you felt like, has had golden opportunities to score against Waiwota here in this game. They've stranded 6 on base through 4. Bases loaded, nobody out in that third inning and held off the board. We'll see if the top of the order can spark something here. Riley Silva hit by a pitch his last time up. First pitch of the inning. Outside corner, 0-1. One 0 Crusaders. Season on the line this afternoon. The 0-1. Silva takes off the plate. Ball and a strike. Riley trying to reach base. The 1-1. Slow breaking ball. Gets a piece of the corner. It's 1-2. Huskers had some good at-bats early against Waiwota and turned in some good at-bats at different points. This one's outside, 2-2. But it's with men in scoring position that's been the issue. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball looped in the air to center. Long run for the center fielder. He's underneath of it to make the catch. Jones just gliding out there in center, much like we see Silva do. And that's a big first out for Holy Cross.
Well, with the exception of this hitter right here, Devin Nunez, Waiwota has done a great job of inducing, for the most part, pretty weak contact. And he was on the ropes 2 innings ago, and now you feel like he's got a new lease on life here.
Yeah, Huskers let him up for air. The pitch off the plate, 1-0. Nunez 2 for 2. He's doubled to left, stolen a base, and singled to right. And he has taken advantage of his second life Nebraska's given him. Here's the 1-0. Nunez checked his swing, didn't matter, called strike, 1-1. And the hope is you don't start to press at the plate. It's still in the middle part of the game. You're only chasing 1 run. The 1-1 pitch. That shot down the left field line again, and Devin Nunez has more extra bases as that one goes all the way to the wall. Devin Nunez is 3 for 3, and he is single-handedly trying to keep Nebraska around offensively. There's that approach that you're talking about. Fastball outside corner, tailing away from the left fielder, very similar to his double in the first, and the Huskers have the tying run at second.
The kid just has the approach you want to see, and he's not doing too much. That's the beauty of letting that ball travel deep in the zone. Got a fastball, so that provided, again, a little bit of exit velocity there, but that's the approach you got to have.
First pitch. We'll have to wait as a pick attempt to chase Nunez back to second. Boy, you really need Brumbaugh to put a good swing on a ball. He did not see Waiwota very well in either of his first 2 plate appearances. See if he can make an adjustment. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit well foul, third base side. Nunez was at third with Brumbaugh at the plate in the first inning with only 1 out. And he had just a weak line drive right back to the pitcher. Struck out against him with the bases loaded in the third. So his third chance. Here's the 0-1. Brumbaugh swings and hits one well to left field. LaFleur back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Caden Brumbaugh inserts himself into this regional with a 2-run home run to left field, and Nebraska has their first lead at 2-1. There's some redemption for Agent Zero. That is our Secure Care hit of the game. That hit is going to need a chiropractor. Find a chiropractic physician in Nebraska. Visit nebraskachiropractic.org. Fastball inner half, and he did not miss.
Well,
and Nebraska has their first lead of the regional.
Ben, to put it simply, I think he was pretty pissed off.
Yep.
Those 2 previous at-bats, I think for a guy who knows what he's about offensively, he holds himself to a higher standard. He saw a pitch that he knew he could drive, and he didn't miss it.
The first one on the way to Swanson. Gabe takes a breaker, inner half, 0-1. 6th home run of the year for Brum, and he's up to 24 with RBIs. Here's the 0-1 to Swanee. Low with a fastball, 1-1. So Nebraska answers right back. One ball, one strike, the pitch. Swanson swings, goes the other way with it, hits it to deep right. Wynn's going to knock it down. Starting back now, screaming in is Eggery, and he makes the catch. He went racing back to the warning track and then came sprinting in to make that catch. That ball was hit hard by Swanson, 100 off the bat. And he played it eventually like it was just a bloop pop fly.
Well, he was heading back to the warning track, thinking that's where the ball initially was going to go, and then had to make a dead sprint, as you pointed out, to make that catch.
First one misses outside to Sanderson.
Well, and we saw that the one that Butenbach caught 2 previous innings where it looked like it was hit decently off the bat, and there is just a wall right there with what the wind is doing, pushing things right back down.
Pitch to Sandy. Inner half here, called a strike, 1-1. 2-1 Huskers in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-1 pitch. Sanderson takes low and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Closer still throwing in the bullpen for Holy Cross and Lenahan. Waiwota's over 80 pitches. The 2-1. That one's looped to left, right at LaFleur, who comes to his right a few steps to make the catch for the 3rd out. But Nebraska finally on the board with a double from Nunez and a 2-run homer from Brumbaugh. And some life pumped into that Husker dugout. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 5. Nebraska 2, Holy Cross 1. This is Big Red Baseball.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Husker Radio, AM 590.
It's game day, making a Pizza Hut day. Order your favorite pizza, wings, and more from the Hut. I also need to thank our friends at Woodhouse. They've been a trusted auto partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse, the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. A 2-run home run by Caden Brumbaugh gets Nebraska their first lead of this Chapel Hill Regional. And we'll see if Ty Horn can deliver a 0 here, but the tough part of the order to do it in 2, 3, and 4 for the Crusaders. Top of the 6th inning is here, and back for us is Nick Hanley.
All right, thanks, Ben. It will be John LaFleur, 1 for 2 on the afternoon to lead it off for the Crusaders. Had the lead for a half inning, and then Caden Brumbaugh happened. And how about the day for Devin Nunez? 2 doubles and a single as he set the table for Nebraska in that last half inning. Comes around and scores on the 2-run homer by Caden Brumbaugh. Left-handed hitter. That one fouled off to our left out of play. 0-1 here on John LaFleur. Someone made a heck of a catch. Was that in the press box? Whoever it was got a great reaction. In fact, some hat tips from the Husker dugout as well. Seeing some of the players even throwing the bones down there in the third base dugout for Nebraska. Someone made a heck of a play off to our left. Here's the 0-1 pitch off the plate, 1-1. John LaFleur, starting left fielder for Holy Cross, a .294 hitter, 47 hits. Swing and a miss on that one. Just got a piece, actually, into Eligzo's glove. Now 1-2 here on LaFleur. Ty Horn now with 84 pitches. Pull side shift applied here with the 1-2 count. This one is pulled down, foul, the first base line. Mishandled by the first base coach for Holy Cross. He's hitting his chest to his first base dugout saying, my bad. That's a play I got to make. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter here of the 6th inning, the 2-hole hitter, John LaFleur. It's been mentioned, 2-3-4 due up here for the Crusaders. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Elevated the fastball at 93. Gets the strikeout. Strikeout number 4 for Ty Horn.
A couple of bodies stirring around. Tucker Timmerman and Will Walsh starting to loosen up in the bullpen.
Here's Belargian, first baseman, 0 for 2 today. Chris Belargian, though, impressive offensive numbers, .379 hitter. First pitch, misses outside with a changeup. Belargian, 77 hits, 52 driven in on the year. He's got 18 doubles. Breaking ball misses in, 2-0. And you see those numbers, and you look at home runs, 3. But as we learned, doesn't really matter. Scanlon didn't have a lot either when he went yard. There's a breaking ball in there for a called strike. 2-1 now here on Belargian. Big right-handed hitter. This one hit sharply over to second. Brumbaugh, though, gloves it over to first in time. 105 off the bat, and that's the second time that Brumbaugh's had to handle a 100-plus exit velocity. And just almost in that situation playing goalie as he dropped down to a knee and was able to smother that thing, but plenty of time to make the throw over to first.
Yeah, that was a scorcher. And the only benefit of that is, as you said, it's hit so hard you have some time to collect yourself.
Here's Gianni Royer, looks at a breaking ball right down the middle, 0-1. Royer 0 for 1, walked and a strikeout back in the first. There's another strike, fastball right down the middle. It's 0-2 on Gianni Royer. Ty loses the hat, puts it back on. I believe that's the 4th time today. Pretty modest numbers.
That's generous. I feel like it's been more.
Maybe more? Okay. 0-2. The offering. Breaking ball, low and outside. Good spot on 0-2. Now 1-2 on Royer. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 strikeouts in the frame. That's his 5th strikeout. And Nebraska gets the shutdown inning they needed there in the top of the 6th. 1-2-3 for the Crusaders as we head to the bottom of the 6th. It's Nebraska 2, Holy Cross 1 on the Huskers Radio Network.
In a game of life, we all step up to the plate. Sometimes it feels like we're facing a curveball with no clear path. Call, text, or chat 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Don't wait for the 9th inning. Reach out, speak up, and let's strike out life's challenges together. Because we're more than players, we're a resilient community. Remember, in times of need, call a timeout. Call, text, or chat 988. It's okay to ask for help. We're here for you. Every swing, every slide. Play ball. Presented by Nebraska DHHS.
No need to hunt around for friendly service, low prices, quality products, and great experiences. You'll find it all with the local experts, Sapp Brothers Petroleum. If you're tired of tracking down another late delivery, it's time to consider Sapp Brothers, where we pride ourselves on delivering products on time or even ahead of schedule, with your safety our top priority. Switching is easy. Just shoot us an email or get us a call. And right now, when you contact Sapp Brothers for any of your fuel, propane, or lubricant needs, you'll be entered to win a guided pheasant hunt next fall. Visit sappbros.net/Huskers.
One of every 3 fatal crashes in Nebraska involves an alcohol-impaired driver. If you drink, don't drive. Impaired driving is deceptively dangerous. From the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Huge inning there for Horn. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. Retired, and now Huskers right back to the plate. And we'll see if they can get after Waiwota for the second straight inning.
Waiwota has given up the 2 earned runs. That was the 2-run shot by Caden Brumbaugh. He's allowed 5 hits today. He struck out 1. He's walked 2. 84 pitches for the senior righty, the Patriot League Pitcher of the Year. It'll be Dylan Carey to lead it away. 0 for 2 today. First offering breaking ball misses just off the plate. DC at 290 now on the year. The 63 hits, 40 runs driven in, team high 20 doubles. Way outside on that offering, 2-0. So 6, 7, 8 for Nebraska here in the bottom of the 6th with a 2-1 lead. Each team with 5 hits in this game. Carey up in the count. Here's the 2-0. This one is popped up on the infield, just got underneath this one. Jimmy King backing up a few steps here in the shallow left center, makes the catch for the out. As Dylan Carey had a hanging breaking ball and just got under it. It'll bring up Max Butenbach. Max 1 for 1 today. But now we're going to have a visit to the mound. This might do it for Waiwota. As head coach Ed Kohovec coming out. And we might see Jake Lenahan, the closer. We'll see if this is going to do it for Waiwota. It looks like it will be, as the Crusaders are all lined up over by the first base dugout step, ready to greet the Patriot League Player of the Year. Waiwota said was a senior, actually a junior, and that will do it for him. We'll have our first pitching change of the ball game. It's a Nebraska soybean pitching change. A Nebraska farm fact: Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum in many everyday products. I'll tell you about the new pitcher for the Crusaders when we return here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
New pitcher for Holy Cross is their closer, Jake Lenahan, making his 19th appearance. That is the most on the team. 4-2 record. He's got 4 saves, 4.32 ERA, 41 2/3 pitched, allowed 41 hits, 25 runs, 20 of those earned. He has walked only 17 while striking out 44. Over a strikeout an inning. Opposition only hitting .250 against the Crusader closer as he comes on here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
And he will come in with Aini Kamosi as his entrance song, The Hot Stepper.
That's a statement.
Yeah, right there, respect. It's absolute 100. That's 110% respect to Jake Lenahan. As they like to say, it's a banger.
It is.
Hot Stepper, Aini Kamosi.
I bet 8% of the players playing in regionals know this song.
Mm-hmm. And that could be generous. If I set it at 5%, I'm tempted to take the under there.
Is it just like, oh, I've heard that song?
Yeah, probably
like, no,
I've heard. You don't know who sings it
or the title.
Yeah, you just like, oh, it's the na.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you have to know either title or artist, it is less than 5.
Yes, 100% agreed. So Dylan Carey flies out to lead off the inning, and unfortunately, too, was it up in the count 2-0. It just got under a hanger, but Waiwota, solid outing. Obviously, the book closed on him with no traffic on the base path. So Max Butenbach will hit with 1 out. Beauty 1 for 1, singled up the middle back in the 4th inning. Also walked in the 2nd. had a really good at bat in the second where he was able to work that full and reach base. So he'll get the first look at Jake Lenahan, the righty, for his pitch with the breaking ball right down the middle, called strike. Ben gave you Lenahan's numbers. 44-17 strikeout to walk ratio. 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the breaking ball. 0-2 here to Butenbeck. Max at .295. 2 hits in this regional, had the bases clearing triple in last night's game, a 3 RBI triple, came around and scored, providing Nebraska really the only inning with their offense. There's a slow chopper over to first base, covering his Lenahan. He steps on the bag just in time to get the second out. So 2 recorded here in the bottom of the 6th for Rhett Stokes. Stokes 0 for 2 today. Rhett trying to keep the inning alive for Nebraska, and you really love to see Nebraska apply some more pressure. And that's another part of Nebraska's offensive turnaround from a month ago is the 2-out damage that they have been able to apply, especially in the last 2 weeks from the end of the regular season into the Big Ten tournament. No better time than the present to keep that alive. Fastball misses outside at 87 miles an hour. So very similar approach that you'll see from Waiwoda. Not a blistering fastball, a lot of movement. There'll be a lot of off-speed here from Lenahan. Working from the stretch. That ball's sharply hit to the second baseman. He knocks it down, picks it up. Jones does, over to first in time. 103 off the bat from Rhett Stokes, but right at the second baseman, Brennan Jones. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Nebraska in the bottom of the 6th. We played 6 here at Boshemer Stadium here in the campus of North Carolina. NCAA Regional Elimination Game. Nebraska 2, Holy Cross 1. This is Big Red Baseball.
At Cox Mobile, we know you're smart. You brush your teeth in the shower to save time, make coffee ice cubes for your cold brew, and wear goggles to cut onions. You also added Cox Mobile. So smart. Now you're running on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability and saving on your Cox internet. It's ingenious, just like you.
Aw, thanks.
Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox postpaid internet required. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. to H 2023. Other restrictions apply. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And electrical.
Stay healthy and active with natural chiropractic care. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. It's proven to treat pain, improve mobility, and prevent injury. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Ty Horn out for his next inning, number 7, and he's got the middle of the Crusader order.
It'll be 5-6-7 to up. Jimmy King, the shortstop, 1 for 2, will lead it away for Holy Cross in a 2-1 ball game. Nebraska leading, and it's been the long ball in this game. Sean Scanlon, the DH, had a solo home run. And back in the 5th inning, then Nebraska was able to return the favor with a 2-run shot by Caden Brumball. That's where we stand right now. First pitch fastball on the outside corner called strike to Jimmy King. Ty Horn trying to work through this one. There's a slow chopper over to third. This is going to be trouble. Rhett Stokes barehands it, throws to first. In time! What a play by Rhett Stokes! Oh, baby! That had infield single written all over it. Had to do everything perfect from the bare hand to the accurate throw and gets Jimmy King, who runs very well. What a play. And that's a huge lift for Ty Horn, who executed a great pitch. Just a slow swinging bunt down the third base line, and Rhett Stokes, boy, did it all perfectly. Here's Connor Peak, 1 for 2. Breaking ball misses away, 1-0. And what a big out that was as you're looking at getting good speed on the base path there, if Rhett Stokes does not do what he did. This misses inside, now 2-0 here on Connor Peak. Here's the pitch, another slow chopper. Ty Horn gloves it, moving to his right now, fires over to first in time. So a good defensive play on some weak contact. First with Rhett Stokes, and now Ty Horn moving off the mound. Not an easy play there for Tyner. And he gets the out, and there are 2 recorded here in the 7th. But here's Scanlon, who had the big shot for Holy Cross back in the 5th inning with the solo home run. So Ty Horn, see if he can get Scanlon back. Swing and a miss on a fastball as he tried to tie it up on that swing.
Yeah, he's not really being secretive about what he wants to do.
1 for 2, struck out looking earlier in the game. Fastball misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Scanlon.
The pitch he hit out was a fastball in the inner third.
The 1-1, breaking ball, called strike on the outer half. 1-2.
For a dude who's getting big and trying to pull me like that, that's exactly where I'm throwing it.
And you're getting the call as well. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss! Ty Horn, strikeout number 6. And gets the Crusaders in order once again. Stretch time here at Boshemer Stadium, getting late as well here in this elimination game of the NCAA Regional. It's Nebraska 2, Holy Cross 1 on the Huskers Radio Network.
Being game day ready means bringing the diehard passion, all in, all the time. And now you can show your Husker pride everywhere you go with the Husker Visa debit card, free with FNBO free checking. Gear up, game on, and give it up for the Big Red every time you pay. The Husker Visa debit card, only at FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Bring it. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's game day. Make it a Pizza Hut day. Order your favorite pizza, wings, and more from the Hut. Great defensive play. Gold star by Rhett Stokes. Just being an athlete at third. Ty Horn takes care of the rest, and time for some more runs. Huskers have the Crusader closer in the game. He's relied heavily on his slider to get through his first 2 batters. And we'll see if 9-1 and 2 can get after him.
Jake Lenahan now in his 2nd inning of relief work for Holy Cross. Hogan Ligzo will lead off. He'll get his first look at the righty closer for Holy Cross. And just 2-1 in particular, but even Ty Horn's defensive play where he had to come off the mound, move to his right, glove it, plant, and throw. 2 solid defensive plays, but Rhett Stokes, my goodness, that was unbelievable. First pitch misses low, 1-0 here on Haligzo. Hogan 0 for 1, walked and flew out to center. Trying to get the Husker 7th started. 1-0 offering, fastball there, strike 1. Attack the lower half of the portion, not a bad take there by Hogan Aligzo. And you hope something like that can also, again, carry into the dugout and into the batter's box for Nebraska here in the bottom half. This ball is hit well to left field. This one is chasing LaFleur back towards the wall. That ball is gone. Hogan Aligzo goes deep. A solo shot and adds a little insurance. 3-1 Nebraska. Hogan Aligzo, we've told you, there's some pop in that barrel. And he comes through here in the bottom of the 7th for Nebraska.
Go get it, young fella. That was a breaking ball below his knees. And he just crushed it, Nick. And he knew it. Had a baby dimer. Some saw that coming today.
I tell you what, some did. We weren't talking about Hogan Eligza or nothing during the pregame, were we?
No.
Maybe we were. Here's Riley Silva. First pitch to him. That one chopped foul back to the backstop. So Hogan Eligza, his third home run of the season. We talked about what he did in the Big Ten tournament as well. Had a quiet night last night against the Sooners. But he was instrumental, not only offensively but defensively. There's a bunt put down the first base line. This is going to be a tough play for Holy Cross. Flips in first in time. Good job by Lenahan in getting to that ball fast. Is Riley Silva dragging it down the first base line. More times than not, he is going to be successful reaching base. So trying to get Lenahan off the mound and tip of the cap to 15 out there and making that play for Holy Cross.
Yeah, really, I mean, that's almost a perfect bunt. The only thing that makes it perfect is if he gets it by the pitcher.
Right.
But that was a dynamic bunt from Riley. Just a good play.
Here's Devin Nunez. All he's done today is go 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. And he hits this one through the right side for another hit. A 4-hit afternoon for Devin Nunez. The kid is having a day. 2 doubles and now 2 singles.
First 4-hit day of Young Buck's career, and it's coming in a regional. That's fun.
And it's just, you go back to that championship game, the 2-run homer against Grotus, one of the better pitchers for UCLA. And Devin Nunez continuing to do the work. He was 1 for 5 last night, had a single, so 5 hits in this regional for Devin Nunez, the Husker DH. Here's Caden Brumball, had a 2-run shot back in the 5th. Looks at a first pitch in there for strike 1. So 1 on, 1 out, already 1 run across with the Hogan Eligza solo home run. Shows bunt, pulls back. They'll peel down to first. He did not go around. Well, that was close. So Brumball did get the barrel back just in time. 1 ball, 1 strike for the Huskers second baseman with good speed over there at first. Devin Nunez gets his lead. The 1-1 pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Colin Brown. It's 2-1.
Boy, it is a lot of breaking balls from Lenahan. I bet he's 80 to 90% slider, curveball mix up.
Lenahan set at the letters. There's a ground ball hit up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Nunez rounding second on his way to third. The throw is not in time. Devin Nunez going from first to third, setting Nebraska up here after the bouncing single up the middle from Caden Brumball. And the Huskers with runners at the corners looking to get greedy here. Gabe Swanson now at the plate.
And a meeting on the mound coming for Holy Cross. And one thing that Dev did not do there, which you saw last night, was hesitate. As soon as that ball was hit over the mound, he was thinking third the entire time. So he gets a grit board tally. And now he gets Gabe Swanson a chance to get involved here in this regional.
Conference on the mound, as Ben pointed out. It'll be Gabe Swanson and Case Sanderson. Runners at the corners. And give Caden Brumball a lot of credit. He had 2 really tough at-bats in the first and the third. Came back with authority with a 2-run homer in the 5th. And this one just putting some contact up the middle on a 2-1 pitch just to get it through. And so has responded well. And as we mentioned, all Devin Nunez has done is go 4 for 4 today. So Gabe Swanson looking for his first hit. He was 1 for 4 last night. Did so late in the game. Got one through the left side of the Oklahoma infield. 0 for 3 today. Had a hard hit ground ball back in the first to third base. Lenahan. First offering runner takes off. This ball is hit but foul off to the right side. Hit and run was on. 0-1 here to Gabe Swanson. So Nebraska trying to activate the running game here on the base path. Nebraska leading 3-1. Hogan Eligza led off with a solo home run here in the bottom of the 7th. That misses way outside. What a block by Colin Brown, keeping that in front of him. Brumbaugh has to stay at first. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Gabe Swanson. Swanee hitting .242 now on the year. I always feel like those numbers don't matter as much, especially in the postseason when Gabe has really shown an ability to turn it on. Here's the breaking ball, swinging a miss. That thing was begging to be driven, hanging over the strike zone. So now Swanee going to have to battle at 1-2. Case Sanderson waiting on deck. Runners remain at the corners here for Nebraska. The pitch. That ball's turned on, and it is going to go foul. Gabe Swanson got out just in front of that breaking ball on the lower half of the strike zone. And that thing just hooks near the Husker bullpen into the seats. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here on the Husker left fielder. Trying to put a dent into this one. Here's the pitch, and there's a ground ball foul over by Mike Sirianni in the third base coach's box. Count remains 1-2. Swanee battling away here. Bottom of the 7th. Huskers leading 3-1. A 2-run shot by Brumbaugh, then a solo shot by Hogan Eligzo. Huskers looking for more with runners at the corners and 1 out. The 1-2 pitch, runner takes off. That shot the other way, foul. Both times, Brumbaugh has taken off. Gabe Swanson has gone that way, foul. On the outer half, good idea.
Gabe has seen 4 straight breaking balls here, which is the best Lenahan has. Can't let the fastball beat you, but he knows the movement by now.
See if he can find one. Brumbaugh takes off, swing and a miss. And they will let Brumbaugh scamper over to second. So there are 2 away, but now runners at second and third. If Sanderson can get one through, would likely plate 2 with runners off on contact and 2 away. Really buried that breaking ball as Swanson couldn't lay off. Case Sanderson, long fly ball back in the second. It's 0 for 3, also lined out to left. First pitch to him, breaking ball low and outside, 1-0. Sandy had a 2-hit game last night in the loss to Oklahoma. He was 2 for 3. Looking for his first this afternoon against Holy Cross. Made good contact, much like he did yesterday. 1-0 pitch, way outside again, 2-0. Dylan Carey waits on deck if Nebraska can keep it alive here in the bottom of the 7th. Huskers now out-hitting the Crusaders 8-5. But leading where it counts as well, 3-1. There's a ball turned on to right field, but right at C.J. Egri as he makes the catch. And another hard-hit ball by Case Sanderson, but nothing to show for it, and that will retire the side. It was 1 run off 3 hits. No errors, 2 runners left on base. As we have now played 7 here at Boshemer Stadium in the NCAA Regional Elimination game. It's Nebraska 3, Holy Cross 1. This is Big Red Baseball.
Plungers and store-bought chemicals can only go so far and can harm your drains. Call the professionals at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical to get your drains flowing. We won't only make sure the clog is taken care of, but we will ensure your drains are completely clean so the clog will not come back. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And Electrical.
At Central Valley Ag, we believe there's room at the table for everyone. And in 2025, the year of the cooperative, we're celebrating the strength of farmers like you. Cooperatives were built by farmers, for the betterment of farmers, working together to create opportunity, stability, and a future for the next generation. Because when we stand together, we grow together. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
24-hour sports coverage for Nebraska, Iowa, and beyond. This is KXSP Omaha, KSRZ HD2 Omaha, AM 590 ESPN Radio.
Back here at Boshemer Stadium as we have reached the 8th inning. Nebraska 3 unanswered as they lead it 3-1 here in this NCAA tournament regional game on the campus of North Carolina, trying to keep the season alive as we've reached the 8th. To take us home, here's Ben McLaughlin.
All right, thank you, Nick. First pitch from Ty Horn in the inning is number 103 of his outing, and it's a called strike to Brendan Jones, who's 0 for 2. 8-9-1 due up for the Crusaders. Horn's pitch, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Huskers have had so many chances to score today. They have 8 hits. They've left 8 on base, and they lead it just 3-1. So Horn trying to keep it here. This pitch is chopped to the first base side and foul. It's 1-2 with a changeup. Luke Broderick is getting hot in the left field bullpen for Nebraska. Have to win today to keep going. Horn winds and deals the 1-2 pitch. High, 2-2. Could see Horn be lifted here as soon as somebody reaches base. The 2-2. Shot out of play off to the left. Jones has grounded to first and struck out against Horn today. 5 hits and a run against him. The next one home. Breaking ball, little looper on the infield toward Carey at short. Waits for it to come down and puts it away for the first out of the inning. Weak pop up to short. First out of the inning, and now Colin Brown, the catcher, 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and popped to second. (3-1) Nebraska. Elimination game here in Chapel Hill. First pitch to Brown, rides inside and gets him on the arm. Fastball at 95. That didn't miss being a strike by much. The Huskers, I think, are going to have a look at this to see if he poured himself over the plate. I mean, according to TrackMan, that missed being a strike by 3 inches. Will Bolt having a conversation with Connor Hoagland, the home plate umpire. We saw this in the Big Ten tournament where there was a batter that just with the setup was where the batter was set up. And the question isn't about the setup, but it's about intent.
Yeah, that was when we heard them say that last week on the official challenge. That's where you and I both looked at each other and said, well, we don't think there was intent. But were you set up over the plate where essentially it's unavoidable if you're a pitcher?
So they're going to have a look at this. It's either going to be a runner at first. I think Nebraska might have a case here. I mean, he kind of flinches that front elbow. I wouldn't say it was dramatic, but there was. Right. He knew what he was doing because he stands on top of the plate as it is. Nebraska, I think, has a shot at this one. And you've got the top of the order with Egri next, who has been all over the barrel today. I think the best sign was Ty still tipping the gun at 95. Well over 100 pitches.
Yeah, Ben, I'm seeing what you're looking at as well, where if you're an umpire in this situation, you're trying to decipher what is natural just movement from loading and being ready to hit as opposed to something that looks like, okay, there's movement over the ball to try to draw contact with the baseball.
It's clear he had no intent to swing.
Right.
Like that is not in play here.
All right, here we go.
So they're going to keep it here. Again, that intent piece, I think, matters. And I think this is going to do it for Horn. After he works 7 1/3 spectacular innings and a quality start for the Huskers here today. And he's going to be greeted with a lot of handshakes from his mates on the infield. Horn was absolutely brilliant again here tonight, more than holding his end of the bargain. And the Huskers going to go get their closer, Luke Broderick, here with one out in the 8th inning. A Nebraska farm fact: Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum and many everyday products. We'll give you the numbers of Broderick after this on the Huskers Radio Network.
For farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices.
I'm Ann Neese, a farmer near Elgin, Nebraska. I grew up on this land, and we're dedicated to being good stewards and leaving it better for the next generation.
Since 1980, U.S. soybean farmers have boosted production by 130%, all while lowering emissions and improving land and water use. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
New pitcher for Nebraska coming in will be the closer, Luke Broderick, the 6'3" righty junior out of Elkhorn Mount Michael will come in, making his 27th appearance. He's 4-2 on the year. He's got 12 saves, as Ben mentioned, a 3.41 earned run average. He's gone 34 1/3 on the season. Giving up 29 hits, allowing 14 runs, 13 of those earned. He struck out 43 while walking 21. The opposition hitting .232 against Luke Broderick, now in for the Huskers here in the top of the 8th with one on and one out.
Well, by this point, you would have loved some more runs with support for Broderick, but he's asked to inherit the tying run at the plate in the top of the Holy Cross order, and just a 2-run Husker lead. I mean, I don't feel like I'm out of bounds in saying we should feel like Nebraska should have 6 or 7 runs at minimum on the board right now.
Well, Ben, you go back to that bases loaded, nobody out situation that the Huskers found themselves in the 3rd. And that's where you thought Nebraska could really not only make their mark offensively, but punch a hole early in this game. We said that was just so vital for either team to do so. Give them credit. They got behind the 8 ball for a moment, fought right back, but even the inning, the previous inning, in the bottom of the 7th, where you got the guys that you have coming up to be able to try to take advantage with runners at the corners with less than 2 out. Nebraska unable to do anything further than the solo home run by Hogan Eligzo. So definitely runners left on base where this thing could be a little bit wider margin.
Agri as the tying run. The top of the order stands in. The first pitch from Broderick is that slider on the outer third. Called strike 0-1. Agri only 1 for 3, but he has hammered baseballs today. Stokes even with the bag at third. Broderick to the belt. And the pitch. Just low with a slider. Eligzo liked the spot, 1-1. Brown is one of the few Crusaders that really won't run. He's 1 for 1, and it'd be silly to try and steal here. The tying run at the plate. Broderick goes from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Almost hit him. Fastball way up and in. See if Luke can settle in here. Behind in the count, 2-1. 3-1 Huskers. We are late. We're in the 8th inning. Broderick comes set. And the pitch. Slider and a beauty. 2-2. That one right over the heart of the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes to C.J. Egri. 308 batter. Luke's 2-2 pitch. Slider popped up right side, foul territory. Sanderson gives it a look. He just runs out of room, lands in the 4th row. And the count holds at 2 balls, 2 strikes. It was another slider. Winner's day. Season advances by a day. Runner at first. Broderick to the belt. The 2-2. Hit him. Got him on the wrist. And the Huskers have plunked 2 batters and have now put the go-ahead run at the plate. And that one wasn't far away from being a strike.
And this is that moment where You know how effective Luke is with the movement on that slider. Fastball that almost hit him earlier in the count. It was the slider there that got contact, and you're right, just up on the plate.
Now LaFleur, the go-ahead run, tying run at first base. The pitch, way outside, 1-0, and Broderick is kind of all over the shop right now. Holy Cross pounding on the railing, hooting and hollering in that first base dugout, sensing the moment. Broderick comes set. The 1-0. Nowhere close, 2-0. He has not been anywhere near the strike zone with a fastball. Rob Childress going to come out and talk to Broderick. It is starting to get white-knuckle time for the Cornhuskers in the 8th inning. Broderick has been Nebraska's go-to arm out of the bullpen. But he is wobbly right now.
Tucker Timmerman starting to handle a baseball again in the bullpen for Nebraska. And that's the one thing about having that lead. You just feel so much better with the opportunities that Nebraska would have had. You see that cushion a little bit bigger, but you just cannot mess around here. And Luke Broderick just trying to find the control here.
Well, and you got to be careful grooving one, too.
Right.
Big fly here, and this game has been turned on its head. Nebraska 3, Holy Cross 1. Crusaders putting the pressure on the Husker closer here in the 8th inning. 2 on and only 1 out. And Broderick way behind at the plate. Here's the 2-0. Outside, ball 3. And you've got the best Holy Cross batter waiting on deck. Luke comes set. The 3-0. Ball 4. And he is rattled. Belargian, the hitter. He's the one that you circle when you look at Holy Cross. He's batting .377. Leads the Crusaders in RBIs and a big RBI chance here.
Drew Christo now warming furiously down there.
Not a lot of time to wait. Bases loaded, only 1 out. Broderick's first one. Slider in there, 0-1. And it's pretty clear right now that's the only pitch he's getting close to the strike zone. Tying run at second, go-ahead run at first. Belargian awaits the next one from Broderick. Here it is. Slider poked off to the right and out of play. Now Luke has done something he's done. He hasn't to any of the first 3 hitters, and that's work ahead. No balls, 2 strikes on Belargian. Bases loaded, top of the 8th. Broderick set. The 0-2. Slider just missed low. And a touch inside, 1-2. Really good pitch on 0-2. And it's been all sliders to Belargian. Crusaders get their leads from all 3 bases. Broderick ready for the 1-2. Bouncing for the plate. Good block by Helixo. He just saved a run. And that got the home plate umpire. That ball rolled just to the left off the ump. The count is 2-2 to Belargian. Nebraska leads 3-1, but the moment could not be any more tense. And so for the moment, while we check out our home plate umpire, trainers out looking at the face of the umpire. Got him right in the mask.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, initially it looked like Hogan had made the block, and you really have to credit for keeping that ball in front of actually home plate umpire Connor Hoagland. That caught him right in the mask. Definitely rung his bell. Just making sure everything's all good and shaking off the cobwebs a little bit. It caught off of it looked like it got a brief piece of Hogan Eligzo's just that left shoulder guard. But really the brunt of that was from Connor Hoagland, the home plate umpire.
Well, the biggest pitch of Nebraska's season is about to be tossed out. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the best hitter Holy Cross has. Broderick comes set. Here's the 2-2. Grounder toward short. Carey picks it up, shuffles to 1. And the throw to first in time! Double play! Broderick is nails as he has been all year. Gets the 6-4-3 double play. And the Huskers lead holds at 3-1. Everybody can go exhale as the biggest moment of the game comes up. Nebraska, no runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Nebraska 3, Holy Cross 1 on the Huskers Radio Network.
This is the sound of grilling season. It's time to get back to cookouts, to gathering with friends and family, and making memories. And with Hy-Vee's lower prices on thousands of items all over the store, you can still get the best quality meat and everything else you need for your barbecues at prices that will make you smile. Get back to grilling for less, with a little help from Hy-Vee.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This Husker baseball season brought to you by Teammates. Teammates Mentoring is in need of mentors, and we want you to join the team. Head over to teammates.org to learn more information about how you can get involved. Now, we were just talking about it during the break. It was home plate umpire Connor Hoagland really saving Nebraska a bit there. A ball that could have gotten away, and Ben, you brought up a great point. Also keeps the double play intact with obviously no runs coming across and keeping the bases there at first and second.
Dylan Carey going to start off the inning, and he swings and skies one in the air to right. Eggery waits for it to come down and puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out in the Husker 8th. Well, if we've learned anything, we need some runs here in the 8th inning. Holy Cross doing everything they can to hang around, and they've done that today. Now Butin back. It's had a nice day at the plate. See if Max can get on base here. First one, slider outside corner 0-1. It is all breaking balls from Lenahan. He has really not much interest in throwing a fastball.
And like Waiwota, it's not an overpowering fastball, but Waiwota was able to at least locate it pretty well.
The 0-1, breaking ball low, 1-1. Max walked in the 2nd, singled to center in the 4th, grounded to first in the 6th. He was the first batter that Lenahan saw. The pitch, way out in front, another breaking ball. 1-2 on Max Butenbach. 3-1, Huskers still in front after the massive double play turned in the 8th inning. The 1-2, waved and missed at another off speed. 2 quick outs for Lenahan here in the 8th. You'd sure like to slow this inning down a little bit after everybody's pulse was bumping up there in that top of the 8th. Not even sure Broderick's had a chance to catch his breath yet. Rhett Stokes, 0 for 3. He's had some hard hit balls today. and a sparkling defensive play at third base. First pitch on the way. There's a rare fastball over 0-1.
I think that caught Rhett by surprise there, too. I think at this point, Huskers are keying in on the breaking ball and looking for something to hang.
The 0-1. Breaking ball hit sharply past the diving third baseman. Down the line, headed to the corner. Stokes going to stroll to second, and bobbling the ball is the left fielder. But Stokes will coast in there. A 2-out double down the left field line keeps the Huskers going here. Now Helixo will get another chance.
Well, I think that validates the previous comment there. The fastball was on the outer half, and it was a rare fastball in there for a strike from Lenahan, and Rhett had no interest whatsoever going after that because he knew he was going to get a breaking ball. This one, again, hanging over the middle third of the strike zone there, turns on it. Now Hogan Helixo, already a long ball once today.
Lenahan brings the first one in. Helixo takes off the outside corner, call a strike. 0-1. Hogan would gladly take a bloop hit here. Anything into the outfield would score Stokes and give the Huskers a big insurance run. The 0-1. That's a line shot past the second baseman, over his head into the right center field gap. Helixo will throw on the brakes. Scoring is Rhett Stokes, and Hogan Helixo having himself a day in Chapel Hill. It's a 5-1. Make that a 4-1 Husker lead.
And Ben, this is, again, what we've talked about, and I know we sound like a broken record, but when Nebraska's offense really started to turn, it was moments like that. You generate something with 2 outs like Rhett Stokes does, and then the next guy either would reach or be able to do exactly what Hogan Helixo did and get that clutch hit. This is something that eluded Nebraska until it was too late in the game last night. Good to see them back on the attack, especially when they need that insurance.
Now back to the top of the order with Riley Silva. First pitch, 3/4 swing. He went around. Scoreboard has 5-1. That's what tripped me up. It is only 4-1. It's only the first run scored. We'll need to get that fixed for the 9th. Riley today is 0 for 3, was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. The pitch. Breaking ball called strike 0-2. What a big knock there from Helixo, who's really become a bit of a weapon out of that 9 spot for the Huskers the last couple of weeks. Now the score 7-1. It's just right. Keep it going up.
We'll keep it there.
Oh, there they go. They got it fixed.
Well, going back to Hogan Helixo, and on that ball, too, he just barreled it so well that at one point you thought Jones might be able to make a play on it, but it just kept elevating. Just hit that thing a ton the other way, and that's where he's had so much success when he's been getting those extra base hits.
The 0-1 pitch. Silva rolls one to the right side. First baseman's going to pick it up. He'll try to race the bag, and he will, ahead of the speedy Silva, and that ends the inning. Nebraska does score a run on 2 hits. No errors. They leave Helixo at first. Luke Broderick back out for the Huskers in a 3-run cushion. And we head to the top of the 9th inning. 4-1 Huskers. This is Big Red Baseball.
Huskers fans, switch to solar and save big. With J-Tech, you'll score $500 off any solar installation, a free energy analysis, and a free monitoring system to keep your home running like a champion. Plus, knock it out of the park with a 30% tax credit when you bundle solar with a metal roof. Book your free energy analysis today. Call 402-261-3682 or visit yourexteriorexperts.com. J-Tech Construction and Solar. Husker powered. Tax credits are subject to eligibility and IRS regulations. We recommend consulting with a qualified tax professional to confirm your eligibility. We are not accountants or tax advisors.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's game day. Make it a Pizza Hut day. Order your favorite pizza, wings, and more from the Hut. Here we go to the top of the 9th. Huskers leading 4-1 here in the NCAA Chapel Hill Regional Elimination game. The first elimination game here. Nebraska trying to hold on to play into tomorrow. But we'll have to go through the Crusaders here in the top of the 9th. Middle part of the order due up for Holy Cross here in the top of the 9th.
4, 5, and 6. Man, that double play in the 8th inning. Play of the season so far for Nebraska. Bases loaded, 1 out, all the momentum in Holy Cross's dugout. Now we'll see how Broderick bounces back in the top of the 9th. Royer 0 for 2. Broderick brings it in. Swing and a miss on the slider, 0-1.
Well, this is where you hope, Ben, supreme confidence there from Luke Broderick after not only getting out of that one with the ground ball, but also getting an insurance run as well.
The 0-1. Slider up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Royer, 2 strikeouts and a walk today. Broderick's 1-1 pitch. In there, strike 2. 7 1/3 from Ty Horn, who has just been outstanding his last 2 times out. The 1-2 pitch. Slider bounced to short. A carry in into his left. Fields throws out at first. 1 gone. Big first out there for Luke.
And again, able to breathe. You get that first out. You get Holy Cross now thinking about it even that much more.
You bet.
And for Luke Broderick, I think this is where it becomes extremely fun to throw that pill up there.
Just go throw your pitch. Let your defense work. Jimmy King is 1 for 3. Broderick's pitch. Slider and a beauty. He's feeling that one right now. 0-1. And even if that's the only one he has, it's plenty good to get outs. We've seen that all year. Broderick ready. The 0-1 pitch. Slider tap foul, third base side, right into the left palm of Lance Harvell. Cool as a cucumber.
Yep. And he's not going to style it, show off.
No.
It's just not. That's not what Lance Harvell's about.
No balls, 2 strikes on Jimmy King. Broderick to the belt. And here it is. Slider again bounced to short. Tougher for Carey to his right. Long throw across the diamond. Right on the money. And the Husker shortstop has taken care of all 3 ground balls that Broderick's gotten to this point.
I don't want to say redemption for a guy who is about as money as you could ask for at shortstop his entire season. But remember, had one that played him last night. And he has made up for that and some with some great defensive plays today.
2 outs, nobody on. Huskers trying to finish it with Luke Broderick. Here's the first pitch. Slider, strike 1 to Connor Peak. 1 for 3. Huskers trying to extend their season once again with their backs against the wall. Broderick to the belt. Here's the 0-1. Slider, tap foul, first base side. Huskers 1 strike away. And the red and white contingent on hand to support their Huskers to their feet here in Chapel Hill. Luke Broderick comes set. He's ready for the 0-2. And he just got a piece of that fastball at 95. He cranked it up.
Ty Horn's going to have to get an arm on Will Jeske in the dugout. Jeske was about to launch out of the dugout thinking that he got that one by him. Ty Horn right there. He's got to play a little security guard right now.
No balls, 2 strikes on Connor Peak. Broderick trying to save it for the Huskers. The junior righty kicks and deals the 0-2. High chopper to third. Stokes waits for it to come down. The long throw across the diamond. In time! Luke Broderick finishes what Ty Horn started. The Huskers hold the Crusaders without a hit in the last 4 innings, and they extend their season beating the Crusaders here in Chapel Hill, a final of 4-1. Back to wrap it up on the Huskers Radio Network.
Being game day ready means bringing the diehard passion, all in, all the time. And now you can show your Husker pride everywhere you go with the Husker Visa debit card, free with FNBO free checking. Gear up, game on, and give it up for the Big Red. Every time you pay, the Husker Visa debit card, only at FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Bring it. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Well, in typical Husker baseball 2025 fashion, it got interesting and remained interesting. The Huskers had the bases loaded and nobody out in the third inning. Could not score, and you just hoping that wasn't an omen for the day. But Huskers got some big swings. Brumbaugh with a 2-run homer. Haligso, just a masterful day at the plate.